enter another world.
On Nintendo 64.
So, let's face the facts. I'm hot, you're hot. Who wants to pet me?
To Michael!
The most anticipated epic adventure of the year.
Hey, little buddy, want a ride?
Pikachu!
Yeah, whatever.
Games just don't look any better than this.
What's up, lattes and cappuccinos? Welcome to Coffee Table Zeros Plays Stories from Soul, the Gun Dog. I'm the American Roast, Alex Erktenich. I'm on my own this morning. Hey guys, it's been a week, and it's only fucking Wednesday. So let's play some games. Let's play some How Long to Beat, and then we'll jump into our visual novel and see what the hell happened to the O'Brien. Let's play. What do we got? Chrono Cross. Oh fuck, we got a big one. Let's go with. Oh, God, this is going to be probably a little rough. God, I wonder if I just go for a reveal and try to base it off of that. Because I've got no context for Chrono. Hey, Tim, you got any any input on Chrono Cross? I'm feeling like a reveal would probably be best, because I've never gone through Cross. I've never seen, like, an LP of it. Let's see. Chrono Cross is pretty long, but it's the completionist that's going to be really long. Yeah, because isn't there like 99 people you can recruit in this game or some shit for your party? Because, like, that sounds like that would take fucking forever. Let's do a reveal. Okay, it gave us the main story. 34. Which doesn't really help, if I'm being honest. Let's go 34. I'm just going to throw some darts at the wall. Let's go 34. Let's go like 49. And then... Oh. Let's see. It's not just the frick ton of people to recruit, it's the number of endings. Oh. Oh. Okay. God, let's go like 97. I feel like that's gonna be high. Did people like it? I think people have come around on Chrono Cross over the years. I remember people just not liking it when I heard about it way back when. Let's go with a solid 80. I think that's fair. People have come around on it, I think. Let's lock it. Okay, an 82. Ooh, was I way off on the completions? What were we looking at here? We were looking at a very hot and tasty 65. Oh, wow. Okay, all right. Well, hey, I was I'm pretty close. All right, I'll take it. How many points did we get on that? 72? Ah, it's a Z. It's a passing grade. Snake Pass? Snake Pass. Oh, I remember seeing this game. It's the one where you can kind of like you are a snake, obviously, from fucking picture. But you're essentially like using your body to like climb along like obstacles and pipes and shit. I remember seeing this. Let's see. You played Chrono Trigger, right? Nope, never played Chrono Trigger myself. That's one of the ones on the forever recommend list. Remember how many endings Chrono Trigger had? I've never played Chrono Trigger myself. I did watch the best friends play it way back when. Seemed like Matt was sick for forever in that LP. Chrono Cross is not a 65-hour completionist, Lamau. People are just putting in random shit for these. Yeah, you think? 65 hours? Well, we could take a look at it. I think for this one we could probe it. Let's go with like a... This can't be that long. I mean, the concept of being a snake moving around isn't like the most engaging thing for like a 25-hour plus game. But I think this would be like a solid, like, maybe like a 7, 8, and a 10. And do people like it? I think it probably reviewed fairly okay. Let's go with like a 74. Let's probe it. Okay, we're close. Do we go lower? There's probably like collectibles and stuff of like, oh hey, you got to be able to like make sure you wrap your body around certain ways. Let's go just a smidge lower. Let's go 5, 8, 10, and then let's go a little higher. Let's give them some love. Let's go 78. Let's lock it. Hey, oh, there we go. Oh, it was way high. It was lower. Oh, damn it. I'm like, oh, wow, it was really high. Oh, no, it wasn't higher. What were we looking at on those times? We were looking at 5, 9, 12, and a 67. Ooh. So we got about 70-ish points on that one again. All right, so we're going to really need to bring it home here. Oh, man. God damn it. Oh, fuck. What was Dave? This game was fucking 1 billion hours long. God damn it. We're really going to need to bring it home. Of course. not only is it an LP series, it's one that I did on my own and one I did fucking recently. Shit. Chrono Trigger had 15 endings? Goddamn. Yeah, but like how varied are those endings? Like when you start seeing a game that's got like that many endings, you have to start asking like, all right, is the only difference is this one's like that guy's still alive and there's no like actual like maybe one or two different line deliveries? Like, does that count as a whole different ending? Fuck. All right. Well, you know what? Let's use the rule here. We go over to us. We go to our playlist. How many episodes was Dave? Dave would have been... Where's Dave at? There it is. Let's see. Dave would have been... God, I think like 19? Fuck, 19 streams. All these times are all fucked. Ugh. Chrono Cross should be at about 12. A lot of the Chrono Trigger endings are kill the final boss at this point in time. Oh, okay. Yeah, you know, I guess that makes sense. Because, yeah, you can go fight him at any point, right? Well, let's do the spread. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I did everything I felt like around the same time. But, again, I don't even want to think about what a completionist run is on that. Because that's probably getting all the staff up, seeing all of their, like, secret little one-picture ending things, getting all the fish up, probably. I don't know. This is probably crazy. I would say we spent, like, if we're just talking main story and not me just getting distracted at, ooh, shiny colors. Let's go with, like, 20, maybe, like, a 26, and then let's go with, like, a 37. A lot. After the first time you go to the end of time, yes, there's a bucket. Don't speak to the bucket. Oh, is that the old man in the corridors of time? Or no, that's at the end of time. See, I'm so not familiar enough with Chrono Trigger. Like, it's one of those ones where, like, I should be more familiar just with how, like, popular it is, but, like, I've always kind of had that one on the back burner, kind of like how I had Final Fantasy VII always on the back burner. Like, sure, I always knew that Aerith died, but, like, I never, like, went through it myself, and I never really wanted to, like, spoil that in case I ever did. And a la the show, we eventually did. Let's see here. What you put in there? The bucket is evil. Takes you to the day. Okay, see, I don't even know what you're trying to hint at with that. We'll put a pin in that. Again, at some point when I just have infinite time, I'd love to go through Chrono Trigger. I'd love to go through Chrono Trigger to see what Sea of Stars is all about, because people were loving Sea of Stars last year. And I know they're not technically related, but I feel like I should play that one first. Do people like it? I liked it. I had a great time with Dave. Let's go with an 81. Lock it. Okay, you know what? That's fine. I'll take 3 blues and a green. All right, I'll take that. What are we looking at on those times here? We're looking at 25, 33, 49, and an 84. Okay, that's not too bad. I'll take it. The important thing is we broke 200. I was really worried we weren't going to. 2 oranges definitely didn't help our cause there, but we did at least okay on Dave. I'll take that. That's probably more realistic on the time I actually spent, to be honest. All right, let's play some Stories from Soul. I want to figure out what happened to this fucking this JFS Conan O'Brien ship. See, I hated Dave because the game dragged on and it wouldn't stay in its freaking lane. I won't disagree with you on that one. The game did not stay in its lane. That's for damn sure. Which, again, now every game I play that's like, oh, hey, here's like 80 different fucking like little things you can do. Like, Plucky Squire was a great example. Immediately, my brain was like, oh, man, I hope this doesn't like turn into like, oh, we have the punch-out thing. Now we have the word, like, again, Plucky Squire is doing a good job of it because it's just a very simple, hey, here's a one-off thing. It's kind of quick. Don't focus too much on it. But with Dave, it just felt like, oh, okay, we got the farming, we got the restaurant simulator, we got the actual diving, we got so many fucking mini games. Our time recognition is screwed again. Time recognition is screwed. Why? What do you mean? Let's load. Let's see. We ended last time here, right? Because we didn't. Yeah. Okay. We did not make a new save, so we'll start here. Sea of Stars was 2023, late 2023, August 2023, but still. Wow, was it really? Oh shit. Now we'll need to get through that, but apparently, like, I should play the messenger first because there's a lot of like stuff that kind of like links up with the messenger, like world and lore stuff. So it's really kind of, from what I heard, it's not necessary to go through the messenger first, but it definitely is a, oh, hey, if you went through the messenger and you know some of the characters and lore, you're really going to like some certain parts in Sea of Stars. So like, I feel like that's also a necessary step to take, especially since it is a linked world. You know, I like going through it in the order it was released. Let's see here. All right. Let's get in the zone. April 23rd, Planetary Calendar 214. Despite the successful reactivation of the JFS Gundog's central computer by Lieutenant Curino, the JFS O'Brien could not be contacted and was no longer coming up on sensors. After taking Lieutenant Commander Quinn to the sickbay, Lieutenant Curino, alongside Cadet Grange, also are tasked with sweeping the ship for faults or damage whilst Lieutenant Lord sets Chief Cathays to work, helping her locate the other ship. The JFS O'Brien is eventually located just as Captain Bartomuse calls an emergency meeting. Oh, she's up. Oh, okay, good. If you play Chrono Trigger, you'll have to play Chrono Cross as well. But before playing Chrono Cross, but after Chrono Trigger, you'll need to play Radical Dreamers. Isn't Radical Dreamers the re-release of Chrono Cross? Isn't that just like a Chrono Cross edition that came out? Is that actually different now? Fun fact, there's 3? There's 3 actually. 3 actually what? JFS O'Brien. Did I spell fucking O'Brien wrong? God damn it. All right. 1 sec. You know what? Fuck it. We'll fix it later. It's okay. People know what they're looking at. Outer Jovian space. The bridge of the Jovian patrol ship, JFS Gundog. Let's use the gun immediately. All right. What do we got? As you, the Chief, and Lieutenant Lord stand to attention, waiting for the captain to begin the meeting, the sounds of an approaching elevator is the only noise that can be heard in the tense silence of the bridge. Yeah, hey, so, like, Lieutenant Lord, I really don't want to fucking talk to you right now, dog. Ensign Hanson Cruz entering the bridge and reporting as ordered. Hanson states, performing a lazy salute as he steps out of the elevator and onto the bridge. You shift slightly as you watch him enter. You knew you were waiting for someone, but why Hanson? He pauses for a moment, and you see him take stock of everyone present. Your shoulders tense up as you inadvertently clench your jaw as he heads straight towards you. Of course he does. At the last moment, he steps to your side and takes place in the lineup next to you without so much as a sideways glance. Good. All right, I'll take that. You remain on edge, but your attention is quickly taken by the captain as she finishes reviewing the readouts from the control panel on her chair and stands up. At ease. Well, there's 4 of us. The 4 of you relax slightly, although with the exception of Hanson, you all maintain a formal stance. Now that we're all assembled, we can begin. First of all, well done to all of you for your actions whilst I was indisposed. No, you're thinking about the Chrono Cross Radical Dreamers Edition. What? It's called that because I think the first international release of the game, Radical Dreamers, a previously Japan-only prequel-ish thing, is to Chrono... Oh. So does that mean I would go Chrono Trigger? Could I then just play Chrono Cross Radical Dreamers Edition? Does that include Radical Dreamers, or is that something I'd have to like find on like an emulator here? There's no way, right? Drunk as a skunk in her room. That's our captain. For a brief moment, the captain's eyes meet yours, and you do your best not to react. Aside from the doctor, you were confident that you were the only person on board who knew the nature of the captain's indisposition. Despite your best efforts to scowl slightly, you hadn't had much time to think about anything beyond the situation at hand, but the information in that report you'd read had begun to creep into your thoughts. You knew that now wasn't the time to bring that up, but eventually you'd need to deal with this information one way or the other. Closing your eyes and exhaling, you try to return your face to its neutral countenance? Neutral countenance? Sure. And hope that the captain didn't notice the flicker of emotion. As you push your thoughts regarding the report to one side, you instead find yourself wondering if the captain is currently in a fit state to be organizing a mission. Your cooperation, ingenuity, and composure under pressure have been noted, and I will be recommending formal awards to be applied to your records. Oh, thanks, Doc. Chrono Trigger, Radical Dreamers, Chrono Cross, and yes, of course, you can just play Radical Dreamers Edition. That's what I was talking about. Beyond the remasters slash remake of Chrono Cross. Okay, all right. Well, I wasn't sure because I'm like, all right, maybe they didn't put the stuff in the Radical Dreamers Edition. Crazier things have happened. You never know. The first international, I think, release of Radical Dreamers. Gotcha. Out of the corner of your eye, you notice Vanessa nod in agreement, but the rest of you remain still. Now, on to the matter at hand. As of 11:47 Jovian Standard Time, a signal of unknown origin was received, which shut down not just the Gundog's central computer, but also all of its emergency backup systems as well. With Commander Quinn unexpectedly taken ill, Lieutenant Lord took a command, and Lieutenant Curino was able to carry out her plan to access the hangar via external airlock. Her plan? I don't know if it's her plan. You've been too busy carrying out an assessment of the ship's systems alongside Dalton to submit an incident report, and you knew that the chief had been tasked by Vanessa with locating the unresponsive O'Brien. You bite your tongue and glance back to Vanessa, who nods again, and the corners of her mouth curling upwards. The captain was clearly working from a biased interpretation of events. God, I hate this fucking bitch. From there, Lieutenant Curino was able to obtain a portable sub-terminal and codes for the reactivation of the central computer, a process he carried out successfully at 1327. Although the Gundog is now operational, we have not been able to make contact with the O'Brien. We can only assume that whatever interfered with the Gundog's systems had the same impact on the O'Brien. Unfortunately, it would appear that the crew have not been able to reactivate its systems, as we have received no communications from them whatsoever. Yeah, her plan? Yeah, wait, hold on. Vanessa's rapidly losing my respect. She's the only one I liked. Chief Cathays, do you have an update on the O'Brien? The group turns to look at the chief as she steps forward, and you realize that this is the first time you've seen her outside of the engineering or the hangar. Although she stands as tall as ever, there's something about her presence that feels diminished. Yes, ma'am. We've not had any response from the O'Brien's transponder, and the normal sensors haven't been able to pick up any of the usual activity from a ship. However, you hear Vanessa and the chief pauses briefly before continuing. That is, Lieutenant Lord and I realized that by using infrared targeting sensors in the fire control, we could pick up the O'Brien itself as if it were debris. We've located it at 43 degrees off the starboard bow at a distance of roughly 300 kilometers. That's not 300 kilometers. How far is that? That's not very far in space. I mean, there shouldn't be anything else in the way, so we should be able to pick that up pretty quick. How fucking far is 300 kilometers? Hold on. 300 kilometers to miles. 186 miles. Okay, so it's a little far. It's a little far. Okay. Resolution gets a bit scrappy at that range, but we're not seeing any external signs of activity. Does it? Like, there's nothing else you're picking up. It should be the only thing in that direction, right? I mean, I'm just saying, that doesn't sound too great to me. I see. Lieutenant Lord, how long until we can dock with them to provide assistance? I think the chief is best equipped to handle that question, ma'am. Oh, I don't like scratching the shoulders, Chief. Oh, she looks sad. I know you don't like Vanessa, and I don't blame you at this point, but you're gonna have to learn to like her, or at least deal with her at a certain point, probably midway-ish through the game. Yeah, I'm sure I will. I'm sure it's gonna be the same thing with Hanson of like, man, fuck this guy, but like, all right, you're on the crew, I guess. Maybe it's a late game thing. I don't know. Chief pauses for a moment. You know the answer to this question, but so should the Chief and Vanessa. As the silence drags on, you begin to wonder why neither of them are forthcoming. Chief Cathays? The pause only becomes more loaded as the seconds pass. While you have no idea what's happening here, you feel a tension between the Chief and Vanessa build. Everybody should know the answer, right? Why is nobody answering? Hold on. What am I looking at here? What was the question again? How long until we can dock with them to provide assistance? Okay. If everybody knows that answer, but she's in charge, she's in charge of that, she should know. Why isn't she answering? Just out and say it. They're dead, Dave. Everyone's dead, Dave. Oh, man. I feel like if I answer, they're going to be like, I didn't fucking ask you, dog. But, more in a military, response. Let's answer the question. Let's just see what happens. Although you can tell something's going on between the two of them, you know that the crew of the O'Brien must be in a similar situation to the one that you just faced. And without the immediate assistance, they were at risk of running out of breathable air very soon. You know what, Alex, or Maki Carino, that's a good point. That's a great point. Fuck the chain of command. These guys are running out of air, probably. You'd put up with enough from Vanessa for today, and weren't about to let her petty power plays get in the way of helping your comrades. Hell yeah. We can't. It's the engines, ma'am. They're still offline. Yeah? What? What's that, Lieutenant? Whilst Cadet Grange and I were assessing the ship for faults and security issues, we found that the engines had failed to restart. Diagnostics show the forced shutdown put the nuclear pulse engines offline. They need to be manually reactivated. The captain lets out an exasperated sigh as she hears this information, making no effort to conceal her frustration. And how long until they can be back online? You're prepared to answer that answer with what Dalton had told you, but you're cut off by the chief. Okay, good. Chief is answering here. We're looking at 6 hours, ma'am. We've been preoccupied with finding the O'Brien. What? God, I hate this girl. So I haven't had the opportunity to begin the startup process to get them running again. The captain follows this information with another sigh. He'd always thought her as distant or disinterested, but considering her current state, you had to wonder how much of that was her simply working her way through a hangover. I see. The captain stands silent for a moment, keeping her eyes closed and pinching the bridge of her nose with her thumb and forefinger. The chain of command law. The only one here that actually below rank is Captain Drunk. What? The chain of command law. They only one here that you're actually. Oh, I'm assuming the only one here that you're actually below rank is Captain Drunk Cat. Okay, I see what you're trying to say. No, and chain of command wasn't what I meant to say. I meant the I guess command asking a specific person a question. I don't really know how to phrase that, but so I just said chain of command to keep it moving. Suddenly, her eyes open and she stands completely upright. Assuming a posture you're supposed to see from her that manages to communicate an air of not just authority, but of capability. Ooh. Vanessa, babe, hot lady, why are you deliberately trying to kill the crew of the O'Brien? Come on, man. Yeah, that's the other part. I'm like, all right, come on, guys. Look, I understand, the captain's in charge. She's asking the question. If nobody's answering and I know the answer, I'm going to answer it. Because these guys are running out of air. We'll be carrying out a mission as follows. Oh, okay. Before you snap back to attention, even Hansen seems to take this announcement seriously. As we're not able to reach the O'Brien with the gun dog to provide support, we'll be doing the next best thing. Ensign Cruz and Lieutenant Carino will head over in an armored frame to provide assistance. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, well, okay, all right. Well, hold on a sec. All right, let's see what she says. Clench your teeth and your body goes rigid. Not only would this be your second trip into space in the span of a few hours, but you'd be doing it with Hansen for company. Your eyes dart across to Hansen, whose attention remains on the captain. You can't be sure, but you swear you see a flicker of a smile on his face. All right, yeah, Vietnam flashbacks intensify. Oh, that's not good. I shouldn't laugh at that. Oh, that's not good, man. We'll be working on the assumption that the same issues affecting the gun dog are affecting the O'Brien. So, Lieutenant Carino will take a portable sub-terminal. Okay, so we're not done with that then. Locate the captain or second in command, and then utilize their access codes to assist their chief engineer in reactivating the ship. If there are complications, or we're too late, Then our second priority will be obtain the O'Brien's black box. Okay. At the very least, we can hopefully gather some information on what's out there that could immediately disable 2 Swift-class ships. Lieutenant Carino, Ensign Cruz, do you both understand? Pair of you salute in unison, respond. Yes, Captain. Yes, Captain. Chief Cathays, I want you to provide a fully charged portable subterminal and guidance on removing a Swift-class black box. After that, prepare Gundog 1 for launch, and then I want those engines back online. Understood? Yes, Captain. Lieutenant Lord, you'll be overseeing this mission. Understood? Why? I don't want to report to Lieutenant Lord anymore. Who's this sassy child? Very good. It's 16:03. Mission commences at 16:30. Oh, we have 27 minutes. That's it. With this final instruction out of the way, you all salute the captain and then turn to leave. The chief is the first of you to reach the elevators, and she steps into the one without waiting for anyone else, pressing the button for her destination and disappearing behind its 2 doors as they hiss shut. Without paying you any attention, Vanessa and Hanson both step onto the remaining elevator, with Vanessa hitting a button as soon as the pair have boarded. Oh, okay, fuck everybody then. What the hell? Nobody wants to hold the elevator for me? As the doors close, you see her turn to Hanson, cross her arms, and begin to speak, but her words are cut off before you can hear them. Of course. You remain on the silent bridge with the captain, who you hear return to her chair. Whilst you wait for an elevator to return, you go over what might need to do in your head. It will be the chief's responsibility to get you a charged portable subterminal, and Hanson and Dalton will be responsible for pre-flight checks. Aside from getting a spacesuit from the hangar, you don't really have anything you need to do before the mission starts. With less than a half hour to go before taking off, you don't have much time to do anything either, though. You might have the opportunity to visit a few other crew members, check on them, you think, but it might be a push to visit everyone. Eventually, the elevator, the chief left, returns, and the door hisses open. Okay, cool. Let's make a save right here, because I know what I want to do. I want to try to get a chocolate bar for my comatose girlfriend. That's the first thing we try. And Blondie's defense. Okay, now Vanessa is actually in charge of us, which isn't good. In Blondie's defense, he didn't actually get a choice in the matter. Really? You don't have anything else to do? Huh? Oh, really? Huh. All right. Well, let's think about this here. If we were to look around, well, here actually, let's. Anything here that matters? Can I see anything on the terminals? Those stations currently remain uncrewed, with Vanessa having followed Hanson off the bridge and Cassie in the sick bay. If anything does come up, the captain should be able to take care of it. Okay, sure. Should. Can we talk, Captain? Yes, Lieutenant. Can I help you? You thought you know what you wanted to ask the captain, but in the moment you find the words catch in your throat, and you're suddenly unsure of yourself. You got a lot of questions and not a lot of time. Doesn't help that some of these questions are more dangerous than others. Yeah. I have a mission to prepare, and you need to be boarding that armored frame with Ensign Cruz soon. If you got something to say, I suggest you do it quickly. I don't have a lot of time to complete this mission plan, so I can't talk for you for long. Based on the captain's terse response, you decide you should focus on the one thing that's most important to you right now. Ooh, the one thing important to us, huh? Ooh, Alex, both of us are a better boyfriend to this woman that's cheating on our character than the character we're playing all. Because we both immediately went, hey, we need to use this time to check on our girlfriend who's totally cheating on us. What's the most important thing that we could ask the captain right now? It ain't about the report in our desk as much as we should. That ain't really it. Her being drunk off her ass ain't what's important. Ensign Cruz being here is just Ensign Cruz being here. He got stationed somewhere, and it just so fucking happens to be the same place. Let's talk about the original mission. You've not been giving this the thought as much attention as some of the other matters that had felt more pressing, but with Cassie in the sickbay, the thought of the Gundog remaining in what could be extremely dangerous territory didn't sit well with you. As regarding our original mission, based on current events, once we secure the O'Brien, what will our plan be? Well, Lieutenant, the Gundog's tasked to provide backup or support as necessary. So what happens to that plan largely depends upon what happens on board the O'Brien. If the crew are as resourceful as you and are alive and well, our task will be to get the O'Brien operational again. From there, we'll do our best to identify the source of whatever happened at Alert JCF HQ. Of course, if those on board the O'Brien weren't as fortunate as we were, then the threat posed to a single Swift class would be deemed too great, and we'd make our report whilst heading back to a more secure territory. Okay, sure. Meaning that if everyone on board the O'Brien is dead, then our mission is already over. Why do you ask, Lieutenant? Your stomach sinks as a sudden realization hits you. Once again, the outcome you find yourself hoping for the most is the one where you're kept away from the action by a turn of fate. But for that to happen, it'd need to be like last time. You find yourself almost nauseated at the fact that you trade the well-being of everyone on board the O'Brien for both your and Cassie's safety. Well, I mean, it's an animalistic response. Don't think too hard about it, dog. Despite that, you couldn't stop yourself from having that thought. Yeah, see, exactly. Lieutenant Carino? Oh, no particular reason, ma'am. Just looking to plan ahead. Very good, Lieutenant. Now, if you wouldn't mind, I've got a mission plan that I need to complete. Yes, of course, ma'am. Thank you. With that, you step away from the captain, who resumes inputting information into the control panel. I feel like that was probably the right one we should have figured out. I'd argue that the condition is the most important thing because we need to know if she's likely to be put in that situation again. I would assume her being drunk as a skunk, as you put it, was probably her own doing. I wouldn't think that she was force-fed all of those bottles of alcohol. So I'd assume she's at least in, hopefully, how do I phrase this? A good enough headspace to not start drinking again immediately. Especially given what had happened. Can I use your chair? I can think of other ways to get court-martialed right now, but none of them are that quick. Oh, okay, cool. I can do it. I was going through like some of the trophies that weren't hidden. I'm like, oh, I can sit in the chair? What? All right, let's move to the central hub. As the elevator doors open, you're immediately confronted by Vanessa standing in front of you. Her arms are crossed and her foot is tapping impatiently. Well, it took you long enough, Lieutenant Carino. You sidestep her and make your way to the central hub. As you do, she turns to follow you. My apologies, Lieutenant. I didn't realize I was needed so urgently. Well, it wouldn't go that far, Carino. Your frustration with Vanessa had cooled over the past few hours as you spent time with Dalton, and he'd been carried out duties that kept you away from her. Yeah, that'd be nice. It feels like they're trying to portray our character as a coward, but I don't think he actually is one. He's terrified of things, but he works through them instead of running away, and a coward would just run away. Yeah, I think it's more just along the lines of, like, unless it is for that, yo, hey, remember that time you got stuck in your fucking Metal Gear outside, and everybody on your team died, and you felt like you could have done something? Like, aside from that, I feel like he's confident enough. I don't think he's smart and he's a little methodical, even though I absolutely could have pulled a gun on Hansen when he first confronted us. Apparently, the item box lit up a couple of times of like, oh yeah, hey, one of the trophies is just pull a gun on Hansen as soon as he talks to you. I'm like, holy shit. So again, it's also I think how we're trying to respond on some things, but I think bulk of the character that aren't my responses, I think he's confident enough. Again, he's just got a little bit of trauma from the being stuck inside and can't do anything type thing. But back in her presence, you remembered how tense things had gotten between you on the bridge and over the radio. Lieutenant Lord, I've got a mission I've got a mission to be prepared for. Is there anything I can help you with right now, or can I get going? It's nothing much, Lieutenant. I just wanted to say that you did a good job on getting the gun dog operational again. Something about Vanessa's manner makes you instantly uneasy. Considering how she'd behaved recently, praise was the last thing you'd expect. What did she say? Just wanted to say that you did a good job. I mean, yes, but remember the spacewalk, how he was nearly puking but forced his way through it anyways? Yeah, I mean, again, I don't think that makes him a coward. I just, fuck, man. Sometimes you're scared of shit. I don't think that instantly makes you a coward. God, I don't want to give this girl the benefit. If I just say thanks, can I get going? Again, if I say is that right, she's like, that's definitely the confrontational thing, and we still have a mission that I have to report to her I'll just say thanks. Yeah, thanks. I did what I had to do. And for that, you received a much-deserved commendation on your record. You roll your eyes and begin to walk away. Again, unwilling to deal with whatever mind games Vanessa was attempting to play. Wait a moment, Lieutenant Carino. All I wanted to do was congratulate you. You deserve it as a member of the crew who's gone above and beyond. What's this about, Lieutenant? You ask, your patient thinning rapidly. Straight to the task at hand. That's what I like about you, Lieutenant. Now, a proficient, able crew member like yourself, you know what it means to do your duty, but you've seen how the captain and her second carry out their affairs on this ship. What are you getting at? All I want to know, Lieutenant, is whether you think that the crew members like yourself, Chief Engineer Cathays, Cadet Grange, and the rest deserve a competent commander. What? Are you really thinking about trying to pull, like, a mutiny on the captain right now, dog? And you're trying to get me on your side? Yeah, no, fuck that. Leave. Your recent discovery about the captain comes back to the front of your mind, but instead of answering, you make a move to walk past Vanessa, fully intending to not get involved in whatever she's planning. That's the right idea. Lieutenant Lord, I really don't have time for this. Based on your recent conduct, Lieutenant, you seem pretty reliable, so I wanted to let you know ahead of time. I'll be keeping a close eye on this mission to see who's capable and who isn't. It's important to know who you can trust to do what needs to be done after all. What the fuck is this? Anyway, nice to talk to you Lieutenant. Good luck on the upcoming mission. With that, Vanessa turns on her heel and heads off down the four-side thoroughfare, leaving you alone in the central hub. Man, I fucking hate this girl. God damn it. Oh, Lieutenant, do your best. I'll be watching. Just go. Fuck. What do you want? Oh, God, I hate this bitch. No, Vanessa, I don't think we, the most competent crew members, should be the commander. God damn it, I hate this girl. Let's move. All right, we could still be on some invisible timer that I don't know about. So let's try to keep the moves actually as minimal as possible. What do I still have in my items here? I still have Cassie's key card, my shotgun, and my key card. Let's go move to... All right, well, I know I want to, right? So let's see if I can get this girl a chocolate bar. Let's go to the mess hall. As you walk by the mess hall, you stop to take a look inside. Everything seems to be operating as normal, from the lazy spinning of the extractor fan to the food vendor cycling through illuminations on different options. At the table and facing away from you is Haru. Oh, hey, Haru. You watch them as they idly swirl the contents of their cup of coffee before taking a sip. Hey, wait a minute. Shouldn't Haru go on this? Aren't you the other pilot? If they noticed you, they aren't letting on, but from the looks of it, they seem to be deep in thought. You don't particularly have anything you want to ask them, but then again, you decide it may be good to check in before you head out. All right, well, let's use this first. I'm not that hungry right now, but I bet I know who'd appreciate this. A silent voice chocolate bar. Hell yeah. I am really not feeling up to eating or drinking anything right now. Maybe when I get back. All right. Haru. Inside Rumney. Oh, Kurino, what's going on? What's a hero like you doing stopping by the mess hall? Hanson told me he was taking you for a ride over to the O'Brien. You picking up snacks for the trip? I was just checking up on some of the crew before I left, making sure everyone's doing okay. Oh, wow, what a professional. Whoa, hey, are we not cool? I'm doing all right. I was sleeping in my quarters when the power went out. Didn't even notice when Hanson started banging on my door. Or until Hanson started banging on my door. That's good. I'm glad you're doing okay. Yeah. So, Kurino. Got send sign? Thanks for helping Hanson out. Oh, well, it's my duty, right? Yeah, guess it is. Still, he's my flight partner, so you did him a solid. You did me a solid. Oh, hey, yeah, no. Hey, I know we got history with crews, but hey, you and I are cool, right? At least I hope, right? I don't think I've done anything personally to insult you yet. Keep it up. Maybe you aren't the coward we think you are. Oh, damn it. Lighten up, Lieutenant. Jeez. All right, Ensign. If you're okay, then I'll leave you to it. Don't be like that, Lieutenant. You just need to chill out. If you need any help, you can stop by my quarters at any time. Sure. All right. Oh, man. Maybe you're not the coward we think you are. Shit. All right, back to the Forsyth Thoroughfare. Who else? Okay, well, here. Actually, no. I know immediately who we need to go talk to. Let's go check on Cassie before we go. Quarters, airlock, bridge, assault fire control, hangar, bridge, armory, sick bay. Okay, so Haru is even worse than Bloody. Got it. The elevator doors slide open, and you raise your hand to shield your eyes from the aggressive glare of the sick bay's powerful lighting. As you come to expect, the strong scent of clinical disinfectant pervades the room. As harsh as it is, it's infinitely preferable to the powerful odor of the captain's quarters. Scanning the room, you see that everything seems in order. The doctor sits at his desk, absorbed in his data pad, and all the medical supplies are carefully arranged in their cabinets, and the surgery wing continues to look immaculate. The only thing out of place is... You're up! Hey! There he is, Maki! Cassandra, who had been idly laying back on one of the beds, playing with her hair, had seen you the moment you stepped into the room and swung her legs around the side of the bed, launching herself off it and towards you. Hey! I'd heard all about how you... Ah! Whoa, Cassie, careful! Now you dart forward just in time to grab her before the stumble she'd taken turns into a fall. All right, let's get you back on the bed. Thanks, Maki. In one swift motion, you scoop up Cassie in your arms and carry her back to the beds, setting her down on the one she'd just been lying on. Okay, I think I could have made that journey on my own, you know. Well, better safe than sorry, right? You're in the sick bay. Still looking after me after everything you've done already? My hero. And your cheeks go flush and look away for a moment. Aww. The captain's acknowledgement of your actions had been so perfunctory? What the fuck? Perfunctory. That it had barely been registered. But Cassie's wholehearted praise has you suddenly feeling sheepish. Oh, that's nice. Nah, it wasn't a big deal. It was just what I had to do. Pretty sure anyone else would have done the same thing if they were in my position. Don't sell yourself short, Maki. It's a big deal. Saving an entire crew from a complete system failure with no chain of command isn't exactly something that would get trained for. Plus, I didn't hear about anyone else going for a spacewalk from one end of the ship to the other to get the equipment they needed. If doing all that doesn't make you a hero, I don't know what does. Look at her, she loves us. Aww. You smile and look back at Cassie. As self-conscious as you feel being called a hero, her assessment of events isn't wrong. Thanks, Cassie. I'm pretty sure I should still be thanking you, Maki. I didn't think Vanessa could have carried me down here like you did. You bite your tongue at Cassie's mention of Vanessa. You had a strong feeling that Vanessa wouldn't have even tried. You push the thought from your mind. You don't have much time with Cassie before your mission is due to begin, and the last thing you'd want to be doing is thinking about Vanessa. Don't worry about it. How you doing? Oh, me? I'm doing great. Aren't I, Doc? Although he doesn't look up from his datapad, you see a flicker of recognition on the doctor's face. Hey, Doc. No, Miss Quinn, you're not doing great. Yeah, you're still in the fucking sickbay, dude. You had a sudden and intense migraine followed by an unexplained extended loss of consciousness, which in turn has followed by a persistent and ongoing headache. I would not look to describe your condition as great. Cassie, why didn't you tell me you were still feeling bad? Oh, come on. What are you, my doctor? He is? No, Miss Quinn, he is not your doctor. It's an expression, Doc. So I've got a bit of a headache right now. I bet it's nothing. Cassie, you were literally unconscious for hours. It's probably because I pulled a double shift to cover the captain without eating anything but a bag of chips and 3 chocolate bars. Oh, honey. Oh, God, and I'm going to give you another chocolate bar, aren't I? Cassie. Miss Quinn, you'd advised me you'd been sticking rigorously to the Nutri-Shake schedule I'd laid out for you. Okay, everyone, jeez. Stop digging the hole yourself then. God damn it, just fucking lie to me and say you've been drinking the shake. I know, but here I am, hydrated and full of electrolytes on the doctor's orders. I'm gonna be fine. So, anyway, how are you doing, Maki? Are you able to finish your shift now that the gun dog's back up and running and made sure everything's okay? Well, actually, we've not been able to make contact with the O'Brien, so I've been ordered to head over there in an armored frame. Oh no, honey, that seems really... Yeah, with Hansen. Oh, honey, I'm sorry. How are you feeling about it? It's fine. It's fine. I mean, you mull over the prospect. Traveling in a cramped cockpit with Hansen would never have been your first choice to get the O'Brien. But then again, it wasn't like there'd been room for you two to come to blows in there. At the most, there'd probably be some uncomfortable conversation. Anything he'd try would probably happen. Anything he'd try would probably happen once you got back to the gun dog. It'll probably be fine. I know if there's one thing he takes seriously, it's his piloting. I don't think he'd start a fight whilst we're sharing the same cockpit or anything. There you go. It won't be too bad then. Yeah. Besides, once you're on the O'Brien, you can just get to work helping the other crew members and ignoring. Well, that's the other thing. It looks like whatever happened to the gun dog has happened to the O'Brien. Since we've not been able to identify any activity coming from them, there's a good chance that their crew hasn't made it. Oh no. Yeah. Beans. Wow. Jeez. Hey, come on. They may not have gotten their ship back up and running, but maybe they've got their own savvy chief engineer who has figured out a solution that keeps them all safe. And on top of that, if they're really lucky, maybe they've got their own heroic security officer who's saving the entire crew right now. Yeah, you're right. I'm sure it'll be fine. You do your best to match Cassie's enthusiasm, but you hadn't forgotten the chill in the air of the gun dog just before you'd gotten it back online. One of the first sights that a ship shouldn't be sustain its crew for much. One of the first signs that a ship wouldn't be able to sustain its crew for much longer. That had been over 3 hours ago. Hey, Maki. Whatever happens, it'll be all right. You've already done incredible things today. Way more than anyone could have ever expected. You're going to be all right. Thanks, Cassie. Oh, that's nice. Besides, you said you'd book us tickets for that new water park in the Europa cluster. I'm not going to let anything happen that'll stop us from going. That's nice. Hey, yeah, something to look forward to. Now get out there and nail this mission, Lieutenant Carino. Yes, ma'am. Wait, hold on. I gotta use this chocolate bar on you. One of the beds currently in use by Cassie. I don't think the doctor would be impressed if I joined her. That's not what I meant by when I said use. I want to just... Wait, hold on. Is it in my items? Hold on. Item. Chocolate bar. Oh, okay. Maybe I can't do it here. Talk. Cassie again. Hey, what are you still doing here? Don't you have a daring rescue to pull off? Well, I just thought I'd check one last time before I left. Make sure you're really okay. Aw, you sweetie. But I'm fine. Really. Totally not fine. I'm currently under supervision to assess the extent of and potentially causes of any ailment that I may be suffering from. However, my condition is currently stable and does not appear to be life-threatening. Although I can think of something that would speed up my recovery. Yeah. Is it my gun? Here, take the chocolate bar. Oh, you mean something like this. Is the doc going to be mad at me for giving you a chocolate bar here? I feel like the doc's going to be mad at me. He's going to be like, what the fuck did we were just on the same side about the Nutri-Shake. I keep expecting the doctor to suddenly yell, no. Think of it this way. You still have your stun firearm if necessary. We aren't the ones we're worried about. It's the O'Brien that we're worried about. Yeah, well, you know. Oh, that's exactly what I was thinking of. Now, look at that. Since I'm so good at treatment, maybe I should consider a move to the medical corps. Now that I think about it, it might suit you. You always really liked that nurse uniform. Hey, whoa. Hey. Saving that for later. Oh. But now that you've solved this medical emergency, you need to focus on getting ready for your mission. Get out there and nail it, Lieutenant Carino. Stop. The doctor's right there listening. Yes, ma'am. All right. Doc, hey, I'm going to talk to you real quick. Lieutenant Carino, is there something I can help you with? Hey, look, let me talk to you here. How's Cassie? Sorry, doctor. I didn't realize you were still here. I am not currently needed anywhere else, Lieutenant. Yeah, of course. As you're still here, I assume that you have a medical requirement? Oh, no, I was just, going. Very good, Lieutenant. Okay. All right. I figured I could ask the doc what happened when we were on blackout. Like, was he okay? All right, fine. All right, I'm out of here, babe. Well, everything still seems okay. Where else can we go? We haven't been to the airlock yet. We still need to go there. We have the bridge. We have the armory. We could go back and talk to Chief. That's probably not a bad idea. So, Doc, did you perchance tell the captain to not get blackout drunk again while we're in space? Well, I mean, again, normally getting blackout drunk in space is fine. Again, eventually time just kind of blurs. It's like being on a ship. Have a drink. Now that there's an emergency, though, they probably know better. Let's go to engineering. As you make your way into the engineering section, you relish the various sounds coming from the now functioning machinery. The thrum of the moving parts, the buzz of the electrical systems, repetitive pulse of various cooling systems. With your newfound appreciation for the activity taking place all around you, you wonder if this is how the Chief feels. On that subject... Hey, Chief, you around? You call out, doing your best to shout over the noise. Chief? You wait a moment, but get no response. Looking around, you can't see her anywhere. Must be in the engine room. Yeah, I was going to say, she's probably in the room over, right? You do not get blackout drunk in space when you're the captain in space. Yeah, I guess. But, like, at the same time, I can also see them going, like, it's fine, don't worry about it. Let's go to the engines. Moving from the engineering section into one of the engine rooms, the first thing that strikes you is that the huge turbine-like machinery that fills the majority of the area is now still. You got so used to the constant motion and regular thrum that after your first few security reviews, you'd stop noticing it. But now that it was absent, the stillness of such a huge space made you uneasy. The only saving grace was that the cavernous structure of the engine room no longer filled with the sound of engines. You could hear the Chief's analytical monologue echoing from across the expanse. You wouldn't have to do much more than to follow it to find the source of her. I mean, oh, okay, it's probably that little flashy thing. Move. No. Look. It's the only thing I can look at, really? Now that I think about it, it was actually kind of nice to stop by the engine room as part of my checks and just zone out watching the engines in motion. Without anything going on in such a huge space, it feels so empty and lifeless. All right, well, I guess just talk? Chief? So that's detectors 1 through 7 calibrated against the background gamma and signaling baseline. Now if I can... Hey, Chief, how's it? No blockages in the coolant flow. No warping in exterior heat sinks either. Chief? Oh, it's you, Lieutenant Carino. Don't you have a mission to be getting ready for? Well, yes, but I thought I'd check in on how you were doing before I had to leave. Oh, well, then everything's as fine as it can be down here. The loss of power didn't do anything, as all the fail-safes for a hard shutdown kicked in. So, because of the ship, not the ship, Chief. I wanted to check in on you. I'm fine, Lieutenant. I just need to get these engines back online. I would have had them online already if Lieutenant Lord didn't have me waste all that time fighting the O'Brien. Once I told her that we could find them using the infrared targeting sensors, she should have left it up to Gunner D's and let me get on these things. I could have got it back to figuring out what's causing the problems with our long-range communication system by now. Maybe even... that's something else I wanted to ask, Chief. What was happening between you and Lieutenant Lord on the bridge? Okay, well, good. I'm glad we're asking that. I've seen what she can get like, but I didn't think she'd be this way in front of the captain. All right, Lieutenant. You know what? I've seen what you'll do for this ship and the crew, so in my book, that makes you all right. So I'm going to let you in on a secret in case you hadn't figured it out already. The only reason any of us are on the ship is because the JACF don't know what to do with us. Oh, we're a fucking group of ragtags? All of us? All of us? Not bad enough to dismiss or court-martial, but too much of a liability to crew on anything important. Oh, okay. All right. Well, now everybody just got like a little exclamation mark above them as far as like, oh, hey, like what's the Why are you here? And I know that includes me. As a union woman, I've butted heads with enough of the brass that they've used every trick in the book to get me out of the way and onto my last warning. So when Lieutenant Lord realized how pissed the captain would be that the engines hadn't been reactivated, she threatened to pin this whole mess on me. Oh, fuck. Wait, so what's her deal then? That she'd report the decision to delay the engine's reactivation as mine if I didn't back up her story. Motherfucker. Whole thing makes me sick. Some of us actually have important work to do and don't have time to be playing games with the crew to worm their way up to the top. As much as I hate going along with it, I'm stuck for the time being. Geez, I didn't realize Vanessa could be so... But don't actually worry about me, Lieutenant. I'm a big girl. I can look after myself. I'll figure out some way to deal with her. You just worry about getting back from the O'Brien safely, you hear? Thanks, Chief. Aw, thanks, Chief. Don't mention it. Oh, this is nice. Although, one thing, Lieutenant. Yes, Chief? Don't interrupt me when I'm clearly in the middle of something extremely important. I'm so sorry, Chief. Yes, Chief. Now get out of here, okay? Yes, Chief. That's nice. That's... All right. That was a nice little, like, hey, you know what? I've seen what you do for the ship. Let's... Fine, you know what? Fine, I'll tell you. We're all a bunch of fuck-ups on this ship. Every one of us. That's okay. All right. All right. Again, now I just want to get everybody's like, why are you here, dog? Well, what'd you do? Which also means that Vanessa's here for a reason. Which means she's going to pull everything she can to try to go up top. Okay. All right. Let's get out of here. Back to engineering. I don't need to go into the central computer. You know, we are right next to the armory. I wonder if it wouldn't be a bad idea to try to bring something. Can I use... This is the shock stuff. This is the real guns, right? Captain didn't order me to take anything from here, so we're not expecting trouble. Oh, okay. Best to leave it alone. Okay, all right, you know, but at least they had the same thought I did then. I'll be taking standard issue sidearm with me to the O'Brien, so I don't need anything else from here. Shouldn't need the one since we're not expecting any trouble on the O'Brien. Standard issue one from the hangar instead. Cool. Done. Just wanted to double check. Just wanted to see. Let's check our full map. All right, so we've talked to Chief, we talked to Cassie, we talked to the dock. Let's see, the airlock is probably going to be empty, right? I don't think so. Dalton and I replaced the panels I'd removed during the sweep of the ship. Hopefully it doesn't need to be taken off again for a long time. It's reassuring to see everything back up and running. I never thought I'd miss the glare of these screens so much. Where's Blondie? Probably in the hangar, right? Like, I imagine it's going to be, when I get back there, it's going to be like, all right, hey, you ready to leave? All right, this should be fine. After I got the power back online, one of the first things Dalton did was return the suit to the locker and replace the batteries on the radio. Chief's got him well trained, that's for sure. All right, let's move back to the central hub. All right, so the whole front of the ship we've gone through. We talked to the captain on the bridge. I don't want to talk to Vanessa again. I don't think I have the option to if I wanted to. Armory's clear. Thoroughfare's clear. Sick bay's clear. Chief and engineering's fine. Foresight Thoroughfare. We've been to the mess hall, which we talked to Haru in. Fire control. We haven't been in fire control. Let's go fire control real quick. Let's see if anybody's in there. As the door to the fire control slides open, you're met with the familiar sound of tinny music escaping from Dylan's oversized headphones, letting you know that the gunner is here at his station. Looking around at all the illuminated screens flashing readouts, it appears that everything here is back up and running as normal. Although there's so much information on the displays, you've got no idea if that's a correct assessment. Leaning slightly to catch a glimpse of Dylan, you can see that he's currently zoned out in appreciation of the track he's listening to, oblivious to your presence. Knowing that he would have recently had his personal sanctuary intruded upon by both Lieutenant Lord and the Chief, it feels cruel to disturb him. But your years of being a security officer kick in, and you find it hard to resist the urge to check in. Let's just talk with him real quick. Dylan. Hey, Dylan. Warrant Officer Dees. Dylan. Yes, latest report. No update on the... Oh, hey, Lieutenant. Hey, sorry about that. I just had the Chief and Lieutenant Lord crammed in here with me shouting at each other about finding the O'Brien. Lord wouldn't even let me perform the search with my headphones on against regulations. Like it makes a difference to what I can see. I didn't sign up for that kind of stress. Anyway, what's up? Oh, nothing much. Just thought I'd check in on you. See how you were doing after everything. You know me, Lieutenant. As long as I get to listen to my music, it's all good. And, like, as long as Lieutenant Lord never comes in here again, I guess. Ugh. What about you, sir? I heard that you had... I heard that we've got you to thank for getting the gun dog back on her feet. You doing all right? Thanks, Dylan. Wow, you know, nobody actually is really... Well, like Cassie asked me. That's not fair. Yeah, I guess so. I've been too busy with running a sweep of the ship to stop and think about it, really. Well, with needing to do a spacewalk and all, or rather you than me, Lieutenant. Closest I want to get to space is seeing it through these monitors. Yeah. Anyway, if it's okay with you, Lieutenant, I'm supposed to be keeping an eye on the O'Brien, and I was right in the middle of a gnarly Trish and the Replicants song. Mind if I get back to it? No problem. Take it easy, Gunnerdies. Thanks, sir. This guy's great. I love this guy. How's he a fuck-up? Because he listens to music? That can't be right. I'd be so upset if that's the reason why he's here. All right. That's all's clear. I don't want to go to the hangar yet. The hangar's the last place I want to go. Let's go back to my quarters. Do I have anything? Can I look at... Now's our early time of relaxing with a good book or switching lights to get off some sleep. After what happened with the central computer, I wonder if all the terminals are working properly. Can I use my computer? Yeah, seems like it's working like it's supposed to. Maybe the central computer always starts up like that? That's right, because we saw that weird message and all that. Can we use this? As much as I'd like a nice fresh uniform after a day of running around and getting stuffed into a spacesuit, I don't really have the time right now. Anything else? Definitely tempting, but I don't want to be caught sleeping when I should be heading out on a mission. All right. Talk? There's no one here right now. All right. I just wanted to be sure. Cassie keycard. Okay, nothing I can do with any of this stuff. Let's move out. Back to the crew corridor. Nobody's here, right? Talk. Nobody here right now. Okay. There. Let's move to crew corridor 2. Talk. Nobody here. Who else is there? Why do we still have that? Cassie's key card? I don't know. But I feel like there's probably a good reason why we still have it. I mean, if she doesn't need it, she's in sickbay right now, right? I use Cassie's 0211. I'm so glad I remembered that last time. That was so cool. There's the blondie and the cadet engineer. Right, no, but both of those people should be in the hangar. You punch in the code in the terminal outside Cassie's quarters and smile. You definitely never forget your anniversary again after what you'd experienced today. Door slides open and you step into Cassie's quarters. Even without Cassie here, there was something about a room that made you feel at home and welcome. You sigh, idly gazing around and tapping the toe of your shoe against the floor. Eventually, you stop to take a look at your watch. Seeing the time that you realize it's not long until you're due to launch, you should really get going. Why did you say that now, game? Why did you say that now? Also, why do we have a whole other track here? Hell yeah. Photo Cassie printed on our first date in Europa Park. Hopefully, once we're done with this mission, we can visit it again soon. Last time I was here, Cassie opened one of these to get a fresh uniform out. Took 2 of us nearly 10 minutes to force it closed again. Got no idea how she does it on her own. It's going to be real bad when our character finally clues into the fact that she's cheating on us. That feels like a million years ago somehow. As messy as ever. I bet if she was here right now, she'd say something like, "It's only a mess because I've been covering for the captain and haven't had a chance to clean it." Yeah. Cosmetics, personal hygiene products, empty soda bottles, everything that belongs to Lieutenant Commander's personal terminal. Alright. Nothing else I can actually look at. Anything I can use? By the time I cleared this so that I could get anything done, it'd be time for the mission anyway. I can't use this. The more I see these, the more I think it's actually kind of nice to have printed photographs. Yeah, man. Maybe I'll get some printed for my quarters, too. Probably frame them, though. Sticking them to the wall with the temporary adhesive isn't great for the picture. There's nothing in here I need worth risking never being able to get it closed again. Even if I had the time to take a break, I wouldn't want to disturb the delicately balanced system that Cassie's got going on here. Yeah, that's one way to say it. Okay. It just feels weird that now I get the notification of, hey, you got to get going here soon. Talk? No one here right now. All right. There's nothing else I can look at. We're going to move out. Let's go. No, I shouldn't need to go to the captain's quarters. No, that should be fine. Let's go to the hangar. As the ship's gravity disappears, you slowly float down the final few steps leading into the hangar. Once your almost weightless feet connect with the steel flooring of the catwalk, you kick off it towards the guardrail, grabbing it before you float past and bringing yourself to a stop. Ahead of you are the typical sights of the hangar, but for the first time since you boarded the Gundog, its expanse is filled with noise and motion rather than the usual silence and stillness. You see Dalton floating from one segment to the furthest armored frame to another, clearly in the process of carrying out its pre-flight checks. As he arrives at each new part, he opens up an access panel, checks the hidden machinery and mechanisms underneath it, and slams the panel closed, occasionally stopping to take one tool or another from his belt to apply the adjustments to the frame's inner workings. Alongside the erratic slamming of panels and whirring of electronic tools coming from Dalton as you hear the back and forth of bickering between Hansen and Vanessa. You watch as Hansen, donning his flight suit, snaps at the lieutenant and then kicks off under the empty space of the hangar, swiftly followed by Vanessa, who does not let up on whatever it is she's trying to discuss. Why is she in here? I don't want to talk to her in here. Glancing at your watch, you see it's almost time for the scheduled time to depart and start the mission. No use putting it off any longer, I guess. Can I check with Dalton? Doing your best not to draw the attention of the squabbling Hansen and Vanessa, you wait until Dalton turns your way and then wave at him, gesturing for him to come over to you once you caught his attention. Hey, Dalton, how the preparations going? Oh, Lieutenant, preparations are at ease, Cadet. It's all right. Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. Don't worry about it. Everything all right, though? Oh, yeah, everything's fine, thanks. It's just that this is, This is the first time I've actually had to prepare an armored frame for a real mission. Every other time has been for a drill or test or something. I really don't want to screw it up. Hey, take it easy, Cadet. I'm sure you're doing a good job. But what if I've done something wrong? Then you and Ensign Cruz would... slow down a second, Dalton. Sorry, sir. No problem, Cadet. Just take it easy. But tell me, have you ever screwed up any of your armored frame drills before? Well, no. Or any tests? No, I guess not. So why would you think you'd done something wrong this time? I'm sorry. I guess I was just getting a bit nervous. It's all right, Cadet. We all get a bit nervous before the first time we have to do something for real. But I've seen how hard you work and what the chief puts you through, so I'm sure you've got it all done up to her standards. Thanks, sir. Although she always makes me double-check the actuators. What if I'd forgotten the actuators? Then go check the actuators, man. It's all good. This kid. Anything to use? No, can't just use anything. All right. Talk. Hansen. As Hansen and Vanessa continue their argument oblivious to your presence, you maintain your grip on the guardrail. It's almost time for the mission, so you could get ready to depart, but if you got anything you wanted to do before you left, now would be the time. Is there anything I needed to do before I set off? Let's just make a little save right here, just in case. Let's depart. I think we've done everything. I can't think of anybody else we haven't spoken to, right? We talked to both the pilot. Well, we're about to talk to the second pilot. We talked to all three members on the bridge. We talked to the doctor. We talked to the chief. We talked to the chief's underling. We talked to the gunner. I don't think there's anyone else on the ship. I think that's everybody. Let's depart. Although the prospect of the upcoming mission makes your stomach drop, you take a deep breath in, hold it briefly, and exhale slowly, calming yourself. Gathering up your resolve, you kick over to the storage lockers near the hangar entrance and remove a flight suit from one, pulling it over your normal uniform. It had taken you much longer to get the suit on earlier, but thanks to that unwelcome refresher, you now slide it on relatively effortlessly. After closing the clasps on the last of the suit's seals, you take the helmet from the locker and tuck it under your arm, turning back to face the main hangar. Anson and Vanessa's bickering doesn't seem like it'll end anytime soon, so with a weary exhalation, you float forward, vault over the guardrail, and kick off of it, sending yourself towards Hanson's armored frame. Lieutenant Curino, reporting for duty. You announce loudly as you grab onto the shoulder of the armored frame. Stopping in the middle of what she was saying to Hanson, Vanessa turns to face you. She then pushes off the hangar ceiling and heads towards you, not waiting to arrive before beginning her lecture. Man. Does she have to? She doesn't have to. It's about time you arrived, Lieutenant. You're due to depart in a few minutes. I'm ready to go. What do you want? I'm ready. What exactly do you think you're doing turning up this close to the mission start time? Arriving on time? I'll remind you that I'm responsible for overseeing this. Oh, yeah, sure, okay. Overseeing this assignment, so I won't have your lack of timekeeping impacting the outcome. Now, if... Before she can get much further into her tirade, Vanessa is cut off by Hanson, who floats in between the two of you into the open cockpit of the Juno. Ensign crew's ready for departure. Oh, cool. I like your suit, dude. He states lazily before disappearing into the armored frame, taking Vanessa's attention away from you and back towards him. And don't forget, Ensign, I'm counting on you. Vanessa calls into the cockpit. If Hanson answers, you don't hear it. Well then, Lieutenant, have you got everything you need for the mission? I don't see you carrying a PST or a guide from the Chief on removing the O'Brien's black box. Didn't you? Hey, Lieutenant. Chief's loud calls comes from the hangar entrance, and you see her heading towards you with a large off-white object under one of her arms and a manila folder in one hand. Not gonna lie, I forgot that she needed to give me the charged PST. Should have probably double-checked on that. She's halfway across. As she's halfway across, she launches the object at you. Although you manage to grab it with your free hand, its momentum pushes you back. Okay. Pushes you back into the armored frame, and you hit it with more force than you'd expected. Takes you a second to recover, but once you do, you realize that the Chief's just pitched a briefcase-sized portable computer at you, the PST. Yay! I got the portable subterminal. By the time you're able to find its handle and get a grip on it, Chief arrives at the Juno and holds onto the machine. I had to grab the one you'd left in engineering. I've charged it up, but these devices get pretty thirsty, so it took a while. Ahem. And here's instructions for removing the black box. The O'Brien's swift like the gun dog, so there shouldn't be any differences in procedure as long as you follow this to the letter. Ahem. Ignoring Vanessa, the Chief proffers a manila folder containing a few sheets of paper. Rearranging your hold on your helmet, the PST, and your grip on the armored frame, you just about managed to take the folder from her. You got the black box guide. You glance back at Vanessa, who hovers behind you, an increasingly deep scowl forming on her face. Before you have the opportunity to acknowledge the lieutenant, the Chief lays a hand heavily on your shoulder, returning your attention to her and almost making you drop the folder. Don't forget, Lieutenant, the PST needs access verification to open the doors, so your ID won't work on the O'Brien because you've not been assigned to it. You'd still need the ID of one of the O'Brien's crews to get anything working. Oh, right. Thanks for the heads up, Chief. If that's the case, would you mind hanging on to these until I get back? Sure thing, Lieutenant. Anyway, I've got engines to be reactivating. Although I've already queued up the startup reaction, so now Chief Engineer Cathays. Right, we both got things to be getting on with. Good luck out there, Lieutenant. With a final pat on your shoulder, the Chief launches herself off the armored frame back towards the hangar entrance. Chief Engineer Cathays. Vanessa yells whilst using you to pull herself forwards, her lower lip quivering in anger as she watches the Chief pass over the guardrail and towards the stairwell leading out of the hangar. Okay, thanks, bye. Although she remains silent, you can see rage building in Vanessa. Her slight frame seeming as if it could explode at any moment. As subtly as possible, you attempt to make your way to the Juno's cockpit without attracting her attention. You've already noticed that Dalton has disappeared from the view, and you hope to achieve the same thing before the lieutenant can direct her scorn at you. Unfortunately, As you lower yourself into the Juno's cockpit, the casing of the PST strikes the armored frame's surface, resulting in a loud clang that reverberates through the empty space of hangar. Going somewhere, Lieutenant? Yeah, the mission. It's time to go. I want to leave quickly. I do. What is she gonna do if I leave quickly, right? Because if I back away slowly, she's gonna say something fucked up either way. I bet. If I leave quickly, she's gonna be like, "Hey, I wasn't done talking to you." If I back up slowly, she's gonna be like, what the heck? Why are you leaving so slow? Let's leave quickly." Your mind races as you try to come up with a good way to extricate your way from the situation. The concept of getting into another fight with Vanessa right now is somehow even worse than the thought of sharing a cramped cockpit with Hansen. Lieutenant Kirino heading out. Good luck with commanding the mission, ma'am. You're now throwing the best salute you can manage considering how full your hands are. Get out of here, Lieutenant. Vanessa hisses, turning her back towards you and launching herself off the armored frame towards the hangar entrance. Fuck you, bitch. Watching her float away, you breathe a sigh of relief, thankful that you managed to avoid another conflict with her. Turning towards the cockpit entrance, you make your way inside, pulling the lever that closes the hatch behind you. Alright. With the hatch closed, all you can hear is the gentle hum of the frame's subsystems. Once inside, your eyes quickly adjust to the low light, and the only sources of illuminations being the occasional backlit dial or readout. You pause for a moment and grate your teeth. This was the first time in years you'd been inside the cockpit of an armored frame. Might be a newer model, but it was pretty much exactly how you'd remembered it. Snapping back to the present, you do your best to head off the thoughts that you know will follow your reminiscing by taking a look around the cockpit, see where you should be sitting. Although a majority of the Juno's cockpit is taken up by the pilot seat, which sits in the center, mounted on a series of shock absorbers, there is space on either side which allows the addition of temporary passenger seat to be mounted on the pilots. Sure enough, Dalton has attached this fixture right onto the right-hand side of the seat currently occupied by Hansen. You stash the PST in the file the Chief gave you at the rear of the cockpit. Once they're out of your hands, you pull on your helmet, fastening your suit's final seals, and then strapping yourself into the passenger seat. Whilst you do the buckles, you look across Hansen, who you realize hasn't said a single thing since you entered the cockpit. You've been too preoccupied with getting away from Vanessa to notice, but now you're actually paying attention to the ensign. You see that his chest is rapidly rising and falling with every breath. On top of that, his hands grasp the flight sticks, squeeze them tightly, and release them. A motion he repeats over and over. Despite the fact that you're looking right at him, he hasn't noticed you. Instead, his focus seems purely on the monitor in front of him. Hey, Ensign Cruz? Are you, okay? There's a slight delay, but a second after you ask Hansen, releases his grip on the flight sticks and turns to face you. The intense expression he just had suddenly replaced by his normal countenance. What? I was just asking if you're okay. Oh, of course I'm okay. What are you talking about? We're not all cowards like you who can't even launch an AF. Alright. Not even off the ship yet, man. Come on. You take a deep breath and exhale slowly as you look away. You weren't sure what you'd been expecting, but at least Hansen seemed like his normal self. Thankfully, any follow-up from him was cut off by Vanessa's face appearing on the comm screen and her voice in the frame of the speakers. Oh, man! Oh, both? Can't you just wait until we're at the O'Brien? Fuck! Gundog 1, this is Lieutenant Lord. 16:30 at Jovian Standard Time and the mission has begun. Please confirm you're ready for launch. Copy that, Lieutenant Lord. This is Ensign Cruz and Gundog 1. All systems ready for launch and waiting for authorization. Understood. Authority granted. Stand by whilst you're transported for takeoff. Although the Juno's monitors haven't turned on yet, you can tell that the reverberations you feel are coming from it being lowered to the hangar and out of the underside of the ship. Oh, so it goes out the bottom. Oh, okay. Activating all systems. Now. All at once the monitors come to life, illuminating you and Hansen with their glow. Gundog 1 ready. Gundog 1 releasing restraints. Oh, cool. Gundog 1 launching. Oh, just like that. Once the armored frame is free of its restraints, Hansen slams the flight sticks forward in unison, sending the Juno hurling away from the Gundog and causing it to shake with acceleration. As the cockpit shudders, you unconsciously grab onto the straps, keeping you in the passenger seat and squeeze them tightly. With the frame continuing to accelerate, you do your best to keep a neutral expression, but despite that, Hansen looks across you and notices your grim appearance. What's the matter, Lieutenant? Feeling flight sick already? No, I'm fine. You lie. Sure. Just sit back and watch how a real pilot handles an AF. Although you'd heard Hansen had launched at maximum thrust, he somehow manages to find extra burst of acceleration, causing the cockpit to shake further, doing nothing to help the nausea you feel. If you throw up, sir, your helmet stays on. Eventually, Hansen eases up on the acceleration and the juddering stops. Although you're still slightly nauseous, you slowly begin to feel a little like the food you've had time for today will be reappearing inside your helmet. Hopefully not. As the Juno continues to cruise forward, you and Hansen both sit in the near silence of the cockpit. With no real indication of distance between you and the O'Brien, or the speed at which you're traveling, it's difficult for you to keep track of time and the journey drags on. There's no way for you to be exact, but it feels like at least half an hour has passed with neither of you saying anything. Oh, wow, cool. How the hell did you guys put this in on the side? What? What? That's not at all what I was expecting to... Like, I thought it was just, like, going to be, like, one of those little cool fold-down little chairs that they have for, like, an airplane. Not a whole-ass installed seat. What the hell? Well, I mean, I guess it's... Like, I guess if it's an Armored Core thing, like, yeah, I guess, right? You strap in. Eventually, the oppressive silence, coupled with your increasingly desperate desire for a distraction, forces you to think about something you never thought you'd do. Willingly start a conversation with Hansen. Oh. No. Man, I get the feeling this is just going to be a shit situation either way. Let's ask about the gun dock. So, you start before trailing off as quickly as Hansen doesn't acknowledge you at all. How long have you been on the gun dock? Hansen gives you the briefest flicker of acknowledgement, but doesn't take his eyes off the main monitor. What? I was just asking how long you've been stationed on the gun dock. Why? You're only seconds into this conversation, and it's already one you're beginning to regret. Hell yeah. I just thought I'd ask. I heard people talking about your piloting, and... Yeah, well, people can say whatever they like about my piloting. Doesn't make a difference because I've been stuck on this joke of a ship for a year. Not that it matters. Every other pilot in the JCF is doing nothing but drills right now, so who cares where I am? A fresh, uncomfortable silence hangs in the air between the two of you as you mentally scramble for a response. So what are you doing on the ship anyway? How'd you screw up? Oh, okay, cool. All right, we're having that conversation. Your first instinct is to fire back that you aren't a screw-up like him, but you know you can't admit that Cassie had your transfer put through as a favor without the risk of it getting back to Vanessa. I didn't screw up anything. I just got transferred here at short notice to fill the role, that's all. Whatever, sir. You don't get dumped on the gun dog unless you screwed up or are defective. So what was it? Neither. Yeah, sure. About Haru. What about Haru? How long have you known Haru? Why? What are you asking? Just asking how long you known Haru. Why? You into him? What? No, I was only... Oh man, I can't believe you're into Haru. They're gonna love this. Not into Haru. Does Quinn know? And signed. Oh man, maybe she does. Maybe that's why you're asking. Damn, no wonder you're asking. I knew the two of you were both freaks. Just shut up, Ensign Cruz. Can I double down on it? Oh, okay, same thing. All right, we'll see. This is an interesting turn here, because I don't know. Vanessa's clearly making this a, hey, like this is looking towards like a mutiny kind of thing here. I don't know about telling him about the report, because either way, like, right, he doesn't blame anybody else about what happened to the crew of the Cali. He only cares that we didn't launch. He doesn't care that we had proof that we couldn't launch, that everything was like, he doesn't care about that. Telling him about the report about the captain is only going to make him more, I guess, just like pissed, right? Like, oh, like it's not going to be like, oh, hey, like, sure, that would take the heat off of me, but I don't know. I don't know if that's what I need to do. The other thing is, does he deserve to know? He was on the crew too. I kind of want to leave it, but I should maybe tell him. Let's make a nice little save here. Let's tell him about the report. As the two of you continue to sit in silence, you watch as Hansen make an occasional minute adjustments to the flight path of the Juno. You realize something. When you'd read the report in the captain's quarters, you'd been shocked, hit with a gut punch of realization. What had happened to you at the battle above Lunar could all be tracked to one woman, Mary's Bartimeus, your captain. Except it wasn't just the two of you that had been there that day. You weren't the only one. You weren't the only one who was on board the ship that had been affected by your actions. Hansen had fought for his life as the Cali flight was wiped out around him, and he had to survive a combat zone for over 12 hours. What happened to Hansen, what he blamed you for, it hadn't been your fault. Now finally you knew whose fault it was. Alright, see, now immediately I'm like, nah, load the save. This isn't the direction that I wanted this conversation to go. Like, at all. The realization hung over you as you grappled with the situation. It's not like you were any closer to dealing with this information. Was there even any way of knowing Was there even any way that knowing could bring you closure? It couldn't bring back the Calic flight, or any of the other pilots the crew on the ships had been lost. But still, if someone else had known, would you have wanted them to tell you? Would telling Hansen do you any good? Would it do any good for him? These thoughts almost overwhelm you as you try to wrestle with what you should do until suddenly you just blurt out. Oh, we just say it. Oh, fuck. Do we load? 'Cause I don't like where this is going. What? You take a deep breath. You'd started now and there was no going back. When I was in the captain's quarters looking for codes to reactivate the gun dog, I found a report in the captain's desk. Yeah? Okay. Why are you telling me this? It was about the battle above Lunar, 4 years ago. As soon as you mention the battle, you hear Hans take a sharp intake of breath, and his flight sticks creak as he squeezes both of them. In an instant, his whole body goes rigid. It was about the reason the enemy were able to outflank us, why they were able to break through E-Field. You see Hansen's expression shift into a grimace, but he still doesn't say anything. It was because of Captain Bartimeus. She was Rear Admiral Bartimeus back then. She made an order that pulled the ships away from the rear defensive line. It left us wide open. That's why... Why the hell are you telling me this? Hansen yells, his fist lashing out and striking the control panel to your left side. Because it was her. She's the reason. Yeah, okay. No, this ain't me, dog. We loading that shit. I don't give a fuck what happens after that. We're gonna go back. Yes, I would like to load that. Crawls in from the vents. Don't mind me. Hey, Adam, how's it going, buddy? We're gonna just leave it here. As the two of you continue your flight towards the O'Brien, the quietness of the Juno's cockpit adds to the sense of tension you feel between yourself and Hansen. Despite not engaging with or even acknowledging you, you can't help but feel a sense of pressure. Hansen's simple presence continues to put you on edge. You mull over a few potential topics for conversations, but can't come up with anything that won't sound weird or forced. Eventually, you resign yourself to the fact that the rest of the journey will just have to continue this way for as long as it takes. You shift your seat and adjust one of the belts slightly. With a sigh, you make yourself as comfortable as you can, settling into the silence. With no other sounds beyond the almost imperceptible background noise of the cockpit and the Juno's monitor showing nothing but stars, your mind drifts, bouncing from thought to thought. The warmth of the cockpit and the gentle vibrations caused by the shuddering of the Juno's engines cause your thoughts to idle and slow. Eventually, without realizing it, you begin to drift off to sleep. Yay! You're almost completely gone when... Oh, we're getting close. Locked on. Both you and Hansen sit upright and fix your attention on the main monitor. Although there's nothing to see beyond the stars and the visual indicator, you know that this means the O'Brien is close by. We're here. Hansen mutters to himself as he begins to flick switches on the control panel out to his side. You watch silently as he works the pedals and flight sticks to reduce the Juno's speed. Gundog, this is Gundog 1. We've got a target locked on the objective. I repeat, this is Gundog 1, and we've got target locked on the objective. No signal. Hansen scowls at the communication screen as it returns to nothing but static and an indication that it hasn't picked up on any incoming signal. He quickly resets the switches on the control panel before activating them again. I repeat, Gundog, this is Gundog 1. We've got target locked on the objective. Do you read? Nothing. Well, yeah, because long-range communications are still knocked out, right? Like, a piece of junk. All right, Hansen, first of all, it's not your AF, okay? I need the problem. His foot strikes the paneling underneath the main monitor, causing it to flicker momentarily, but doing nothing to help obtain a signal. With the O'Brien now visible on the screen, you remain silent as the... Oh, we're getting close to it. Oh, okay, cool. It does look like the same. Nice. With the O'Brien now visible on the screen, you remain silent as Hansen continues to deactivate and reactivate the Juno transmission systems. Gundog, this is Gundog 1. We've got target lock on the objective. I repeat, Gundog, this is Gundog 1. We've got target lock... God damn it, Lord, where the hell are you? Hello? Hello? This time, Hansen's fist strikes the main monitor. Thankfully for both of you, the reinforced glass of the screen remains undamaged. You move as far away from Hansen as the restraints of your temporary seat will allow, but you always knew they're hot-headed, but didn't make things any easier to deal with. I mean, having him just continue to yell over and over ain't gonna do it. Just try, dude. Communications are down, dog. Hansen continues to attempt to reestablish contact with the Gundog. Each time he does, his efforts are met with the same familiar static. Come on, what's wrong with this piece of crap? Gundog, come in. Ah. Hey, come on, take it easy. You tell him, holding both your hands up, palms forward, and a placating gesture. Don't you tell me what to do in my frame, Carino. Hansen snaps back, continuing to flip switches, occasionally strike the controls. Ensign, that's not going to do any good. Yeah, what do you know? You can barely contain the long, exasperated sigh you feel building inside you, but you manage not to express it, knowing it'll just set Hansen off more. Instead, you tell him what you remember the Chief telling you earlier. Before all this started, the Chief said she was having problems with the long-range communication system. It was causing issues with our transmission to the O'Brien, as well as the targeting system. It's probably just not fixed yet. Might have even been made worse when the power went out. So what, we're out here with no mission control? You pause, crossing your arms and shrugging. I guess so. Yeah, of course. Can't expect anything to go to plan when that ship's involved. This is Gundog 1. In case anyone out there can actually hear us, we're approaching the JFS O'Brien. We're carrying out the visual inspection of the O'Brien now. With the O'Brien now close enough for you to actually make out its finer details, Hansen decelerates the frame, bringing it to a nearly complete stop. I mean, everything looks normal. I guess as best as I can tell. Deftly adjusting the Juno's orientation, he then begins to circle the Swift-class ship, and the two of you focus on the monitor, trying to identify anything out of the ordinary on the O'Brien before you get closer. Wait a second. Is that... You point to the O'Brien's main airlock, and Hansen quickly sets a camera to zoom in on it. Oh, shit. Wide open. Looks like someone tried the same stunt as you. No, that's not it. I closed the secondary airlock behind me. Both of those are open, which means the ship must be completely depressurized. Fuck. Yeah. If this happened when the power was off, none of the emergency bulkheads would have been able to close. The two of you just sit in silence, both considering what you just found out. Fuck. If the same thing had happened to the O'Brien as the Gundog and someone had opened both airlocks, with then what little breathable air was left on the ship would have been sucked out into space. Oh, man. We still got a mission to do. Come on. You nod silently in agreement as Hansen, apparently sobered by that realization, moves the armored frame towards the airlock. This isn't necessarily the end, you think. If some of the crew were lucky, they may have been able to get to their spacesuits before they ran out of air. They'd be running low on oxygen by now, but... this is Gundog 1, docking with the O'Brien. Now only meters away from the other ship, Hansen brings the Juno to a complete stop, and with a surprising amount of delicacy, has it reached out with one arm, grabbing grabbing hold of a protrusion from the ship and anchoring itself. All right, let's go. In a well-practiced motion, Hansen releases himself from his seat's harness, moves towards and grabs the lever to open the cockpit's hatch. As soon as it's open, you feel the rush of the cockpit air escaping. Meanwhile, Hansen pulls himself out and steps out into the airlock. Having a slightly harder time with the straps on your harness, it takes you a few moments longer to release yourself. Once free, you gather up the PST and the instructions the chief had given you before making your own way out of the Juno. Ooh, high-risk zone. Cool. The two of you tentatively make your way from the airlock itself through the room beyond. He's dead, Dave. Everybody is dead. Everybody is dead, Dave. Although nothing is obviously broken or wrong, the fact that you're standing in an area identical to the one on the Gundog, but open to space and completely uninhabitable, sends a shiver down your spine. Oh, that's a long, weird ellipses. That looks why does that look important? We're going to save that real quick. Why does that look important? No, there's no dashes, so it's not like Morse code. Why would it be A, B, C, D, E, F? No, like that doesn't say anything. I'm like, maybe the dots mean something. I am actually going to grab a drink real quick because I am out of my nice little Celsius, so I'm going to grab some water. You know what? Give me 1 second here. I'll be back in less than 60 seconds here. Hold on a sec. Ugh. Okay. Let's hop back into it here. I have returned. With water. Stay hydrated, kids. All right. Hansen. You look to Hansen and see him mouthing something that you can't quite hear. Wait. Do I have like a communicator that's just not on? You continue to stand there in confusion as Hansen wordlessly gestures at you until he looks exasperated. It takes you a moment, but you realize what's going on, and you reach up to the radio on your chest panel, flicking the switch that activates it. It's about time you figured that out, sir. Hansen's voice crackles over your helmet speaker. Unlike the Juno where your cockpit was pressurized so you could hear each other, you now find yourself standing in complete vacuum, where no sound can travel. So what's the plan? You turn to survey the empty void of the airlock. The first priority given by the captain was assessing the crew of the O'Brien to get their ship back online, but judging the current state of things, you weren't sure whether you'd have much luck with that. The plan, you say to yourself more than to Hansen as you go over the current situation in your mind. That's right, Lieutenant, the plan. Right now you got rank, so without Lord screeching down our comms, this comms line, this is on you. Unless you're after a trip down memory lane and want to sit in the Juno's cockpit whilst I do everything. This fucking guy. A mix of shame and anger swells inside you as you bite your tongue to not snap at Hansen with the first thing that comes to mind. Stow it, Ensign. Despite the way he'd said it, he wasn't wrong. With nothing coming from the Gundog, you were now the highest-ranking officer involved with the mission. All right, the first priority was to assess the crew. It doesn't look like anyone's going to be in this part of the ship, but we still need to try. Since I've used the PST before, it's going to be easier for me to carry out the search. Whilst I'm doing that, you can start removing the ship's black box. You hold up the manila folder that the chief had given you on the Gundog, and Hansen takes it from you, clumsily flicking through it with his gloved hands. It's on the bridge, huh? How are we gonna get up there? Same way I did it on the gun dog. Come on. Yeah, I love this song. This is a good fucking bop. I hope these are somewhere I can like listen to them, because man, like each one of these, even though it obviously repeats for like several minutes at a time, I do like these songs. You turn around and head into the ship, eventually arriving in the central hub. Okay then, Lieutenant. Now what? As you walk past Hansen to where the maintenance hatch is located next to the elevators, you take the opportunity to quickly switch your radio off. Tell Hansen exactly what he can do next, then switch it back on. What's next, Ensign, is this. You run your fingers down the seam between the panel of the panel and the wall and quickly find the catch. Unlike the one on the bridge, you're able to fit your shoot fingers in this one, and you quickly release it. Oh, that's how. Oh, okay, cool. I was kind of wondering. I'm like, I wonder what that looks like. As the hatch comes away in your hands and you wait to feel the sensation of air rushing out of the crawlway, unfortunately you feel nothing, confirming that the fears you had about the ship and her crew. Oh, man. So, well, hold on. Again, that doesn't mean that all the bulkheads are fucked, right? That just means that the bridge doesn't have any air. Placing the hatch down, you turn to Hansen, saying nothing about your discovery, and instead gesturing to the ladder. At the top of this ladder, you'll find another panel like this one that leads into the bridge. To release it, all you need to do is push the catch from the inside. Think you can handle that? What do you think, Lieutenant? You're not dealing with some dumb security officer here or anything. Let a pilot show you how it's done. Yeah, go right ahead, man. With a swagger that's only exaggerated by the bulk of his suit, Hansen strides past you, steps into the access tunnel ahead, and heads up the ladder. You take the opportunity to turn your radio off again and tell him what you really think about pilots. Once you're done, you switch back. Once you're done, you switch it back on in case he sends any transmissions. Now that you've set him to work, you try and find any survivors of the O'Brien's crew and use their help to get the ship back online. You look around the empty central hub, and the same silence that previously filled the gun dog now fills your helmet. After a moment of contemplation, you head towards the first place you think may be fruitful to explore. Ooh, here we go. Did I give all my items to the chief? Is that what happened? I still have my gun. Which, if we have the PST, it won't matter because we still need a card to scan to go forward. So if that's the case, where would we find folks? Do I have a map? Out of order. Access to the map function is disabled. Please contact your system admin. Oh, man, it's just like work. Let's see here. We could go... Let's see, task. Okay, survivors, keycard, access codes, and the captain if possible. All right. Well, I mean, that's relatively easy enough. Let's, look, those are just the elevators. Okay, same layout. It's still a JFS. Let's move. Where would we want to start looking for people? We should also put down a save here, just in case. There we go. The obvious thing now is just go anywhere you can right now. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Well, I'm trying to think. If I was a person that was on this ship and the airlock is open, actually, yeah, let's just look at the thoroughfare, because the thoroughfare will tell us if the door's closed. Okay, so if the door's closed, the blast door is just like the one on the gun dog, probably just takes as much battery to open it too. It's not worth trying to open until I've got access codes. Can I look? Odds of someone being in there are slim, but it's worth still worth checking. Can I use the door? No, I don't want to move to engineering. I want to, like, talk to engineering. No? Come on, I can't knock on the door. I can't do the Morse code thing. It worked for the chief. Why can't it work for us? All right. Let's move into the armory. Bracing yourself with your left hand against the wall in the entrance of the armory, you bring your right hand down in a fist against the door. Continue to pound your fist against the unyielding entryway, hoping that if there is anyone in there, they have enough air and be able to hear you and respond. After a few seconds of pounding, you press your helmet against the door, hoping that you can pick up the vibrations of someone returning the signal. You're met with nothing but silence. Cool. You stand back and hammer on the door harder this time. After the fist begins to ache, you press your helmet back against the door's paneling, holding your breath and listening for any signs of activity. With no signs of life, you dejectedly step back, giving the door one final slam with your fist and cursing the silence. Can I try the same for the engineering, then? Just like you had seen on the Gundog a few hours earlier, where the aft thoroughfare should transition to the engineering department. Instead, all you see is a gigantic blast door. From experience crawling underneath one of these, you knew there was no way you could ever hope of moving it manually. On top of that, there was no point in attempting to open it before you even had the emergency access codes. With the battery power it took to open the door, you'd probably shut yourself in engineering with no way of getting it back out. Before that, though, you'd need a key card belonging to one of the crew. As it was, there was no hope of even opening it, whether it was pointless or otherwise. But we won't knock on this door? You turn back and move away from the door, making your way back to the aft thoroughfare. I mean, like right now, all I'm trying to do is just literally find someone. I knock on the armory. Back to the central hub. Let's go to the Forsyth thoroughfare. Wonder if this ship still has a cadet like Dalton, or whether they got 2 fully qualified engineers. Either way, if we're lucky and whoever they've got is as resourceful as Chief, this hangar is probably my best bet for finding a crew member for help. Okay, well, that's not a bad thing. What's this? If the O'Brien follows the same schedule as the Gundog, then there shouldn't be anyone in there. Of course, things like schedules never did anything to stop Cassie from grabbing a bite to eat whenever she wanted, so maybe someone here has a similar attitude. Okay. Let's hope whoever looks after the fire control in the ship doesn't have a pair of headphones half as large as Dylan's. Alright. But I still can't use any of these doors, right? As you make your way through the gloom of the Forsyth thoroughfare, you absentmindedly knock on the low-gravity warning sign before the double doors that lead to the ship's hangar. Placing the portable subterminal by your feet and hammer on the doors with your fist, hopeful that if anyone's in there, they'll hear your signal and reciprocate in kind. After around 10 seconds of this, you stop and press your helmet against the door. If there's any noise in there, the vibration should travel through the door and into your helmet, allowing you to hear it. Guess there's no one in there. Hey! Hey, can you hear me in there? You call out, resuming your hammering on the door when you get no response. Hey, whoever's in there, we're from the JFS Gundog. We're here to rescue you. Can you hear me? Okay. There's definitely someone in there. Although you're still not getting any obvious response, you acknowledge that someone is in there, fills you with a sense of urgency, and you hurriedly set your suit's radio to broadcast. This is Lieutenant Maki Carino of the JFS Gundog. We're here to provide assistance to any crew member of the JFS O'Brien. I repeat, this is Lieutenant Maki Carino of the JFS Gundog. We're here to provide assistance to any crew of the JFS O'Brien. Oh, come on! You slam your fist into the hangar door one more time. Despite the signs that someone was still alive in there, there's no way to get yourself in the hangar and no response on the radio. You feel like you may as well be a million miles away from them. Picking up the portable subterminal, you look from one end of the Forsyth thoroughfare to another. The presence of a survivor made you your need to find a key card belonging to a member of the crew all the more urgent. Okay, so we got some kind of response here. Let's... Or maybe to the mess hall. Given the time when the Gundog presumably the O'Brien had blocked out, you knew there wouldn't be anyone in the mess hall. Despite this, you also knew that it wasn't uncommon for crew members to disappear from stations briefly to grab a snack, to grab a quick pick-me-up or treat, especially if their duty was quiet. Especially if that crew member's name was Cassandra Quinn. You go through the routine of hammering on the door, waiting for a response, continue to batter it with your fist, just in case you hadn't heard it the first time. Despite your best efforts, you don't manage to get a response. Okay. Let's check fire control. You exhale slowly as you look at the door to the O'Brien's fire control. On the Gundog, Dylan had his music to keep him occupied. Whoever was assigned to this station on the O'Brien probably wasn't so lucky. With this thought in your mind, you carry out the process of hammering on the door, resting your helmet on it, and then giving it another go after getting nothing but silence in return. After a few attempts, where you hear nothing coming from the room beyond. You step back, mentally crossing this room from your list of potential safe havens on board. As you move on from the central hub towards the darkness of the Forsyth thoroughfare, a movement catches your eye. Huh? You stop to peer into the darkness ahead and catch sight of a silhouette in the distance. Oh, hey, yeah, that was cool. I saw it for a second. Wait. Wait, I saw it for a second. Let me look on the stream real quick. You guys get to see it? No, maybe not. Okay. Hey, who's there? I'm from the Gun Dog. You call out using your radio to broadcast yourself. We're here to help. Come back. As the figure vanishes into the gloom, you dash after it, eventually arriving at the end of the long corridor that makes up the Forsyth thoroughfare. Having headed past the two crew corridors and seeing no one down either, you move towards the end of the corridor. A dead end one, considering the doors to fire control in the mess hall and the hangar are all sealed. Did I just imagine it? You turn around trying to see if you'd missed something, but with no signs of life here aside from yourself, you begin to doubt that you saw anything at all. The mission must be getting to me. Better to get this over with before I start seeing things. Alright. Crew corridors would probably be the next best place, yeah? Let's go crew corridor 1. If I can find somebody... Let's look. Mark Butte. This is where Hansen's room is on the Gun Dog. Guess they could be one of the armored frame pilots. Uskstadt, based off where their quarters are, they're probably a pilot like Haru. Rory Way. I wonder if they have a junior engineer on placement like Dalton. Albany Row. If the quarters distribution are the same as the Gun Dog, this must be O'Brien's gunner. But I can't look at the security officers. Can I use any of these? For all the effort you put into slamming your fist against the door to signal anyone that might be inside, your efforts are wasted. Same for all of these. You go through the motion of checking for signs of life, but you don't hear anything back. Despite hammering as hard as you can, there's no response. Go through the motion of checking signals for signs of life, but you don't hear anything back. Talk? No one here right now. Okay. All right. O'Brien crew quarters? Stood outside the door that would have been yours had you served on the O'Brien instead of the Gun Dog. You can't help but feel a bit nauseous. The familiarity of the door, the corridor, the thoroughfare, it all forces you to think about how close the Gun Dog came to being out of here before the O'Brien. You push that thought from your mind. As close as it was to happening, it didn't. You were here now, not whoever lived behind that door. Balling up your right hand into a fist, you hammer in the door, then you place your helmet against it, waiting for a response. When you don't get one, you repeat the process a few more times, until eventually you step back, rubbing your gloved hand, trying to ease the soreness from pounding on the door. No one's in. Corridor 2. Who are we looking at? Esri DeBoer, ship's doctor, perhaps? Jala DeForge. Given the location of their room, I wonder if this is their chief engineer. This is where Cassie's quarters are on the Gun Dog. Nameplate reads Kim Henry. They must be the O'Brien's second in command. This is where Vanessa's room would be. It says here that it belongs to Jules Bashir. That was Lieutenant Cassie. That was the lieutenant Cassie was speaking to just before all this started. Ah. Boof. O'Brien crew quarters? Standing in front of the door that on the Gun Dog would be the entrance to Cassandra's quarters, you begin to feel a bit queasy. You're doing your best not to think about how, aside from some of the lucky coincidences, this could have happened to the Gun Dog instead of the O'Brien. Despite your best efforts to keep that thought out of your mind, you can't help but dwell on it seeing a door that could have been Cassie's. Who spends their free time on the other side of this door? Is it as much as a mess as Cassie's room? How close were the two of you to having this happen to you? Now's not the time for that. You remind yourself, stating it out loud to force the thoughts away. With your focus back on the task at hand, you repeat the process you've been using to check for signs of life or crew activity. Unfortunately, you get nothing back. Captain? You approach the captain's quarters at the end of the corridor and see the same Jovian insignia as the one in Captain Bartolomew's door. Below it is a nameplate which proudly presents the O'Brien's captain's full name, Paul Henry Gerard. As with all other locked doors, you'd considered so far that you begin bracing yourself by hammering on the door with your fist. After a few seconds, you lean in to listen for any response. Nothing yet. After hearing nothing, you repeat the process a few more times, stopping only when the dull ache of your wrist becomes uncomfortable. At the time of the blackout, if everything was going to plan, that the Captain Mary's should have been on the bridge of the Gundog, not Cassie. Maybe that's the situation here. You spend a few more seconds thinking about other optimistic scenarios before turning and heading back into the corridor and not giving your mind the opportunity to shift towards the more negative possibilities. For all our sakes, captains, I hope you're not in there. Well, let's go back to the thoroughfare. Hey, John, I think I'm winning. I'm on the other ship now. We were able to find it, and the airlock and the secondary bulkhead airlock were both open, so we're looking for responses. So far, I did get one knock back in the hangar, so we know somebody's in there. I'm just looking for a key card right now. All right. God, where else is there? I guess just, back to Central, move, sickbay? You reach out to the maintenance crawlway and grab a rung on the ladder. Stepping forward, you place your feet onto another rung that you can barely see, and then instead of following Hanson up, you start moving downwards. As you descend the crawlway, eventually becomes completely dark. The only indication that you're given that you've reached the bottom is when you bring your foot down and you unexpectedly stomp on a floor panel. Now at the bottom of the shaft, you grope around into the darkness, looking for a catch that will release the panel into the elevator sickbay. After a few minutes of sliding your palms around blindly, your suit's glove catches on something. You investigate it with your fingertips to confirm it is what you're looking for, before releasing it, grabbing the panel as it falls away, and placing it on the side as you step through the sickbay. Oh shit! With no rush of air to indicate that you've depressurized the room, you're almost entirely certain you knew what to expect. But what you find goes beyond that. Why does everything in here look fucked? Look at all the broken glass up there. Behind the desk, set to meet those who enter the sickbay, you see the crumpled form of someone wearing a white coat, much like Dr. Rosarium's. You quickly make your way over to them, but as you do, you stop momentarily as you feel something crunching beneath your boots. Looking around, you can see that the doctor is surrounded by broken glass. Taking stock in the room, you realize that the cabinets at the far end of the sickbay are all still locked, but the glass panels have been shattered and their contents scattered. Instead of trying to puzzle out what's happened, you turn your attention back to the doctor, kneeling down by them and gently turning them over. You're faced with a woman who seems to be in her mid-50s. Her sandy hair done up in a loose bun with errant strands tucked behind her ears. You notice that of the two lenses set into her round wire-framed spectacles, one is cracked and the frames sit askew on her face. Although her pale blue eyes are wide open and staring at you, they don't move, and she does not blink. Her skin is pallid. Yeah, pallid. Her skin is pallid, matching the cool blue of her eyes, the striking red of her lipstick standing out in a dramatic contrast. You stay holding the doctor for a moment before gently laying her down, and with as much delicacy as you can manage in your bulky spacesuit, you close her eyes. As you stand up, you exhale deeply. Although it was almost certain that this would be the scenario you'd be facing for most of the ship, since the central area had been depressurized with no safety measures engaged, you'd been holding out hope to find the crew members alive as well. Despite the sight of the doctor, you still hold on to that hope. After you survey the room, you turn your attention back to the glass underfoot and the shattered frontage of the cabinets. What happened here? Man. Alright, so we got 4 things. Okay. I want to look at that screen back there because that looks important. The ship's doctor. It looks like she was involved in a struggle down here, but I can't tell whether she died before or after the ship was depressurized. As you head towards the back of the room to examine the cabinets, you feel the crunch of glass fragments under your feet. Although the floor is scattered with various boxes and bottles of different medicines, there's something in particular that catches your eye. You squat down and pick up an open packet that you recognize. Nutri-Shake Mix. Okay. As you turn the pouch over in your hands and look inside, you find it's completely empty of the powder that it should contain. Placing it back on the floor, you look around and realize that whilst all the boxes of medication are still sealed, the packets you can see are torn open and are all Nutri-Shake packets. What? Would someone really do all this for Nutri-Shakes? All vacant. Could whoever have done this been in for treatment? What about this? There's no one in here right now. No point in opening that door. There's no one here right now. You walk up to one of the cabinets with a broken glass frontage and gently pull on its handle. As you'd expected, it's still locked and doesn't budge. Looking down at your feet amongst the various packets of medication that appear to have been hastily pulled out of the cabinet, you can see a selection of Nutri-Shake packets all torn open. Picking one up, you check its contents to find it completely empty. Could this really have happened over nutritional supplements? No way. Doc, do you have a key card maybe? You stand over the doctor, trying to see if there was any clues as to what happened to her beyond the crack in her glasses lens. As you survey her, you notice that unlike Dr. Rosarium, she doesn't wear her stethoscope around her neck or her key card on a lanyard. Hang on, her key card. The thought reminds you of the chief's instructions that we need to use a key card from a member of the O'Brien's crew if you're going to activate any doors with the PST. You steel your resolve, aware of what you need to do, but not finding the concept altogether pleasant. Sorry about this, Doctor. Squatting beside her, you pat the doctor down. Although the thickness of your spacesuit's gloves make the task difficult for you to do your best to be respectful, eventually you reach the doctor's waist and you feel a protrusion from her side. Opening her white coat, you can see an internal pocket, and after a moment spent trying to fit your gloved hand inside, you manage to grab hold of something and pull it out. Okay, so we have the doctor's key card. You stand up and read the name on the back of the key card. Dr. Esri DeBoer. You unclasp a pouch from the side of your suit, deposit the card, and close it up again. The doctor won't have the clearance to let me access the central computer, but maybe this will let me find someone who does. Thank you for your help, Dr. DeBoer. I'm just very sorry we didn't get here sooner. Well, let's move. Having made your way back into the maintenance crawlway, you work your way up into the darkness. The dull starlight from the airlock that illuminates the central hub barely illuminating the exit above you. As you continue towards it, you pause as your radio hisses into life. Hello, Hanson? Lieutenant Commander Quinn from the JFS Gundog. Cassie, what are you doing on this? We're picking up your signal and have arrived at the rendezvous area. Please transmit your precise coordinates. Over. Cassie, what are you... We read you. That's a sweet voice you got there, Gundog. I'm transmitting the coordinates and mission update files now. It's good to finally... What? This is from when... Roger that, JFS O'Brien. This is Lieutenant Commander Quinn from the JFS Gundog. We're picking up your signal and have arrived at the rendezvous area. Please transmit your precise coordinates. Over. We read you. That's a sweet voice you got there, Gundog. Okay. The snippet of conversation between Cassie and Lieutenant Bashir loops a few times until eventually fading into static. With as little explanation as to why the transmission started, it ends. What would be transmitting that recording? Okay. Can I close the airlock? You stop as you enter the room just before the airlock, where you'd been so used to the huge main shutter and its warnings on the Gundog. Here, the O'Brien was nothing but a vast corridor into space. Being able to see the stars like this from that position couldn't help but feel uncomfortable. Their light, as gentle as it is, feels like a forced intrusion on this room, somewhere they should never illuminate. You spend a few more moments gazing out of the airlock before you shake your head to clear your thoughts. If there was any hope for the O'Brien's crew, it was that you'd act fast and your stargazing wasn't helping anyone. The other thing that's concerning right now, we don't see any of the suits out. Which definitely means we're going to have more bodies probably. Here, give me 1 sec. There we go. That updated. Sorry, just need to post for work real quick. There we go. Perfect. There we go. Okay, that's good. I should charge my phone. Let's get that updated. 1 sec. Almost there. There we go. Okay. Let's see here. We should... Yeah, let's see if we can close the door. Doesn't make any sense to close the airlock manually now. The only thing that would do is cut us off from the armored frame and make it harder to leave if we can't get the power back on. But if I open a door somewhere, shouldn't, like... They won't get, like, sucked out, right? I just don't want to open a door and it depressurizes them immediately and then they're dead. Which, I guess there's not really any air in here anyway. Alright, back to the central hub. Let's go to the foreside. Then let's use the hangar door. With Dr. DeBoer's keycard, I'll be able to access the hangar. Although there's a chance that whoever is in there may not be in a spacesuit yet. Yeah, see? See? That's why I was trying to close the door. If I open these doors now, I risk pulling them out into the vacuum. There may be something I've missed that could let me get the access codes more safely. Keep exploring. It's really tempting to just charge in there and grab them, but I should only do it if there's no other option. I'll have this sorted out soon, whoever you are. Okay. What other room could we try to get into? I can't get into the captain's quarters because that requires like a specific level of clearance. I guess we could technically try anywhere else. Can we get into the security out? No. Let's see if Cassie, the place for Cassie's coordinate? No. What am I trying to say? The spot where Cassie's room is. You go through the motion of checking for signs of life, but you don't hear anything back. I can't use the door to get in? I guess not. Captain's quarters. With Dr. DeBoer's keycard in your possession, you move it towards the captain's door and lay the PST off to the side. Can I get in here? You'd been saving the PST's battery for when you confirmed a surviving member of the crew and genuinely needing it. But the chance that the ship's captain was in there, as well as their card and access codes, was too great to ignore, and you were willing to use the battery power for it. Alright, let's go. Okay. Yeah, see, I would have also thought Cassie's quarters. Kneel down beside the terminal linked to the captain's quarters and begin the practice procedure of connecting the PST and going through its menus, eventually selecting the unlock function. Now, with a sense of trepidation, you unfasten the pouch on your belt and take out the doctor's key card. As a security officer, your card had enough authority to access every room short of the central computer, even the captain's. You weren't entirely sure that a doctor's card would be sufficient. Without much of an alternative, you slide Dr. DeBoer's card into the slot and hold your breath. Thankfully, you see the door begin to slowly slide open with an exhale of relief. You stand up. Once the door is open enough to allow you through, you make your way inside. Ooh, fancy. You have that same painting. As you'd expected, Captain Gerard's quarters were almost identical to Captain Bartolomew's, with a few small differences, like the lack of any open bottles of liquor. As you walk in, you look around. Seeing no immediate sign of the captain, you move over to the bedroom portions of their quarters, only to find an immaculately made bed and the same basic features as the one you'd seen in the captain's quarters aboard the Gundog. Well, if they're not here, there's only one other place they could be. Leaving the bedroom, you walk past the desk and stand by the door to the bathroom. You gingerly knock, but after realizing that with no air, no one would be able to hear you, so you bang on the door and wait for a while, or wait for a response. With no answer forthcoming, you slide open the door, finding nothing but a pristine bathroom. Well, I guess they're not here then. Huh. Well, let's see. What can we look at? On the edge of the desk, close to the door of the quarters, you notice a stack of papers perched precariously, as if they had been left in a hurry. Based on the same tractor feed edges you'd seen on the papers in the Captain Bartolomew's quarters, you could assume that they'd been printed out on board, meaning that they were recent documents. Captain must have left in a rush if he didn't lock them away. That, or they're nothing important. I don't know about that. A tree? A small bonsai tree. Regular plants are really expensive back on the colonies, so even getting the seedling to start one of these would cost a fortune. Really? People say that the air in a room with a plant in it that tastes better than the normal reprocessed air you get on a ship or colony, but we've never been around a plant to try it out. Exact same painting as the one in Captain Bartolomew's quarters. Probably done in for a stencil or something, I guess. Captain's bathroom is certainly a lot smaller than the pods that you get in the standard crew quarters. There's an actual toilet and a proper shower unit, too. I wonder if when you reach Admiral, you get your own bathtub. Captain's desk looks just like Captain Bartolomew's. It's got a terminal and what looks like a telephone, probably a hotline to the bridge. I think I like Captain Gerard's desk ornament much more than Captain Bartolomew's, though. What could be in those files? Could be nothing. A bed, a chest of drawers, and a bedside table. Pretty much all the same as Captain Bartolomew's quarters, just tidier. Alright, let's use the desk. You hesitate for a moment considering whether or not you should pick up the files in front of you. Although in normal circumstances doing such a thing would result in a severe disciplinary action, you reason that these aren't exactly normal circumstances. Anything that could explain what had gone on or help the O'Brien had to be investigated. Besides, you think, it's not like this would be the first report you'd read today that you shouldn't have. It's one way to say it. You take the file in hand and read the heavily printed text on the front. JFS Naval Report, JFS O'Brien, Mission Log 132, August 4th, 214. Flicking through the report is made difficult by the clumsiness of your spacesuit's gloves, but you manage to quickly skim your way through the file's contents. You scan the pages of a general day-to-day ship operations and see if you can find anything out of the ordinary. As you work your way through the logs, a few curious entries in amongst the expected information catch your attention. April 8th, 214. JFS O'Brien's routine patrol path adjusted to be investigate erratic Higgs field distortions in the outer limits of JCF territory. April 19th, PC-214. Investigation reveals significant residual boson distortion, inconsistent with standard JCF drive output. JFS Gundog dispatched to support with investigation. April 21st, PC-214. Continuous sweep of the area surrounding distortion fields, unknown object, not recognized as Jovian, Martian, or Solar Federation. Ensign boot and set dispatched to retrieve. Object on board at 1927 JST. April 22nd, PC-214. Long-range communication systems remain down. Source not yet identified by Chief Engineer DeForge. O'Brien moved to rendezvous point to meet JFS Gundog for duty transfer. April 23rd, PC-214. Rendezvous with JFS Gundog behind schedule. Chief Engineer DeForge investigating unknown object for potential cause of communication failure. Destructive investigation authorized. Sounds like they ran into similar issues around the time that took whatever this unknown object is on board. Unknown object, huh? Anything else? Can I use the plant? If this is all for nothing, I guess I could take this back to the Gundog with me. Although I don't know how long trees last in space. Although I should probably leave it alone until I know for certain. Nothing else really to use. Alright, the terminal's not going to be working, so let's check those drawers. You head down to the back of the desk and try to each drawer, working your way from top to bottom. Unsurprisingly, they're all locked. We'll need to find the keys if we're going to get in there. Okay. Where are we at? Oh, okay. God, I was kind of hoping we could finish the day here. Let's keep looking around just for another moment or two here. I don't have the key. I don't know where the captain is. So if we just keep moving, we can go back to the foreside. We haven't been to the bridge yet. As you make your way up the ladder towards the bridge, you find your progress slowed by the bulk of your spacesuit as it catches against various protrusions that stand out from the walls of the shaft. Despite having to stop multiple times to free yourself from these obstacles, you eventually see the faint outline of the entrance to the bridge above you. Clearing the remaining distance without incident, you step out of the hatch and onto the bridge. Oh, man. Okay. The absence of any signs of depressurization when you removed the panel in the central hub, as well as what you'd seen in the sick bay, had prepared you for what you were about to see. Knowing you were about to see it, however, did not make it any easier. At the station on the left, you see the slumped figure of a young woman. From a young man. From his uniform and general appearance, you recognize him as Lieutenant Bashir, the officer that Cassie had been speaking to moments before the power went out on the JFS Gundog. Unlike when he'd appeared on the Gundog's view screens, unlike when he'd appeared on one of the Gundog's view screens, the man you saw now had clearly suffered and what looked like either a small explosion or massive electrical shock. The front of his uniform was at its best singed and at worst completely charred, as was the skin on his hands and face. You grimace at the thought of what could have happened as you turn your attention to the captain's chair. There, slouching to the right, was the ship's captain, a rictus smile on his face, having seemingly suffered a similar fate. Whatever had happened to these two looked like something entirely different than what happened to the doctor in sickbay. Although she'd clearly been injured by something or someone, the cause of death for these two looked much more obvious. Although the question remained, how? You pause for a moment. You'd almost put your hand down on the headrest of the captain's chair, but you quickly move it away. If something had been electrocuted, then these two men. Pretty grim, right? Yeah, Jesus. You almost fall backwards in surprise as Hansen's voice sounds suddenly from the helmet speakers, and he appears on the far side of the bridge, having emerged from underneath the control station on the right. Easy, Lieutenant, it's just me. What, never seen a friend human? Never seen what a fried human looks like? Ugh, maybe not. You take a deep breath in and exhale, catching the breath that Anson just scarred you on. Damn it, Cruz, what the hell were you doing hiding underneath there? Following orders, sir. Remember the plan? Hanson lazily waves the folder you'd passed on to him. Wait, these guys look like they'd been electrocuted, but based on where they are, did you check? Listen up, Lieutenant. Power's not on. What's there to check? You can't help but be amazed at Hanson's cavalier attitude towards the risk of painful death via electrocution. Alright, how's retrieving the black box going? Not bad. I've managed to get most of the casing undone, but there's not a lot going on in there, and this suit doesn't really make any. What about you? Find anyone? You turn back at the captain and Lieutenant Bashir for a moment before looking at Hanson. I checked the sick bay and found the ship's doctor. She's dead too. Aside from her, these two are the only crew members I've managed to confirm. It's not looking good. Guess that keeps things simple. No survivors, we get this black box and we get out of here. What? You want to hang around here all day a bit longer? Oh, sorry. This was a whole crew, Hanson. Some might still be alive. I guess you better get looking for them then, huh, Lieutenant? Ugh. Ease up, Lieutenant. I can say this from experience. If everyone's dead, there's no use wishing they weren't. It's not gonna bring them back. Yeah, but if you're gonna find them, we should get moving. Probably not much air left on the ship, even if they're in sick bay. With another shrug, Hanson walks away from you, heading back to the control station. He was hidden under where you'd entered. Well, let me know when we're leaving, though. All right, Lieutenant. And nothing else. Okay. Shit. Yeah, timing wise, I think we might need to. Oh shit, Tim. I'm so sorry. The chat's not going here for me. Hold on. What did you say in here? God damn this thing. What did you put in here? That was... Oh, okay. You just put that in here. What part of there's no power is so hard for our character to understand every time? Yeah, he just doesn't quite get that, does he? Alright. Shit. I mean, I kind of want to... This feels like this is going to take some time to get through here. I think for right now, we will go ahead and call it. We've been trying to keep these to about 2.5 hours just so that I Try to keep things uniform. I don't know how much longer we have of this, to be honest. But we will be coming back next week on it. Maybe maybe we can get a little bit in on Saturday. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday, the last Saturday of the month. Miguel's covering one of these trivia shows on a Saturday, so I'll have a little bit of time then. So if we don't finish it next Wednesday, hopefully we can knock it all out next Saturday. So I will be signing off for the day. I got a couple of things I want to try and get done here before I have my own trivia show. I will catch you guys on Friday for some Returnal. We got a little bit more there. Apparently, it's a good thing I haven't finished the third form here, because if I did, I'd have to do it again after I find the 6th flower on that. So, still got some things to do there. We'll get some Plucky Squire in at some point as well. And then I know John was talking to us about maybe doing some Helldivers, because there was a pretty big update for that. So, I will go ahead and sign out there. Cold Crew, thanks for joining. Everybody else, thanks for joining as well. Happy to have you. We'll see you guys on Friday afternoon. Signing out. Bye.